We are live. Welcome to Hardly Initiated Live. It is your host, Tyshawn Jackson, here with another episode. My co-host, Ryan Catchings.
Listen, second episode of the year, man. And I'm feeling blessed.
Yeah.
Highly favored.
Yeah.
Everything, man. Refreshed. Like, I really love this, man.
I
really
do
love
too,
this.
man.
Yeah.
I do too. This is gonna be just as much, especially this episode and every episode that we got coming for y'all this year. Y'all don't understand, y'all. We got something very special and powerful for you guys this entire year. Y'all gonna be laughing, y'all gonna be crying, y'all gonna have y'all pen and paper out, y'all gonna be leveling up and going to places y'all ain't been watching Hardly Initiated, especially with this episode here, because we got one of my favorite guests. He's a frequent flyer of the platform. It's not his first time being here with us. Matter of fact, you already know him. If you're a real initiate, if you're one of my day ones, you already know the men's coach himself is sitting here at the table. We in here rocking with Coach Crump. Welcome back.
What's up, family? What's up, man? Thank you for having me,
Initiated.
bro. Happy New Year, my brother.
Absolutely.
Happy New Year,
man.
And Ryan, congratulations to the barber, bro. You know what I'm
He
saying?
went crazy, man.
Listen.
I tell folks all the time,
bro.
listen, I got the absolute best barber in Atlanta. I mean, my lineup is super fresh. I got to get it cut the same time.
Come on.
Same day every week.
Consistency.
Routine, baby.
You
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
I like that.
Listen, once we get 1 million subs, though, I told Ty I may have to increase that to like two haircuts a week.
Two haircuts a week.
Go
It's
crazy.
spicy, my
Go
guy.
crazy.
Well, the best part about that whole statement said, once we get to 1 million subs,
Right.
you
that's
feel me?
guaranteed.
It's
guaranteed.
You know what I'm
already
saying?
Absolutely.
It's already etched in stone.
Let's go, bro.
It's etched in stone, Coach.
That's the energy.
But Crump, you very special, man, because we've had you on an in-person interview.
Mhm.
You've been on a couple of live panels.
Yep.
You did the very special toast
Come on, man.
to the 1 year anniversary.
Come on, man.
No, the 2 year anniversary.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it was 2 years.
And the celebration of 100,000 subscribers.
150,000.
Yeah.
It was crazy, man. So
Yeah.
you kind of are like really grandfathered into the initiate family.
Yeah, absolutely. My initiates. If y'all remember or seen the members only episode that we have where Coach Crump came in and held that toast, I want y'all to put that toast emoji in there real quick. I want
Shout
y'all to
out,
put
man.
that toast in there. If y'all
Bottles
went
up,
ahead and y'all
baby.
watched that. But y'all see what we in here talking about today. It's gonna get a little spicy.
Yeah.
We
I
talking
agree.
about the 4 reasons she doesn't have sex with you. Let me tell you, fellas, not many times we put some, I love talking to my brothers, man. I
Come
love
on.
talking to my brothers. Brothers, this is it. This is for you guys today. Ladies, I need y'all to watch this one here. Okay, but the fellas, we in the room, we man caving today. All right, we straight man caving
Yeah.
because we need this one because a lot of the brothers are struggling
Facts.
in their
on.
development,
Come on.
in their relationships,
Mm,
in their evolution,
mm,
right? In
yeah.
their manhood.
Yep.
They're struggling.
Facts.
And
Big
we're going to
facts.
talk about this today. And, before we go ahead and get into it, I want Ryan to go ahead and tell the people what we got popping off so we can get into this work.
Absolutely. Let me check it out real quick. So, guys, y'all already know we're going live 3 times a week. We started on
Getting busy.
not this past Sunday. We started last Monday.
Yeah.
This past Monday, and every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. I don't know what the hell like I go though. Every Sunday at 5 p.m. Every Monday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Guys, we're gonna be going live. So just remember that 3 times a week. We're gonna be giving it to you over 1,000 initiatives. I'm really tired of saying that. I guess I won't say that until we get to 2,000.
Yeah.
Until we really get crazy. Because guys,
2K.
I mean, I told everybody we're gonna turn up the community, and we are.
Yeah.
Guys, it's really gonna go crazy. Like I want to, because you know what I was telling Tyshawn, I want to have the best community, like the best virtual YouTube in person. I want to have every single aspect of the community really held down.
Yeah.
I really want to have tremendous impact. So not only make sure we bring in like all of the best counsel and guidance and resources, but also the best experiences too. So we're working on all that.
Yeah,
All
all of that. And as well, so you guys can be able to connect and chat. Because if y'all in the chat, we got the chats right now. It's initiates only right now in the chat. So you have to be an initiate to be able to chat because we just see how much y'all love to talk. Y'all be talking about y'all personal lives and catching up with y'all personal lives in the chat now at this point. It ain't even really just about the show. And we're going to put some things in place so we can make sure you guys can chat even off air as well. So we can continue to grow the community. Okay. But man, we about to actually get into this show tonight, this episode.
But before we do, we gotta say this, man.
What's that?
We want to thank you guys for the work you've done to build this platform for our culture, for our community, for our people, for our families. Man, we prayed before the show started, man. I really want to acknowledge you too, as powerful men of God in your leadership, and really trusting myself and others to come on here to really build something that's so necessary for our culture, so necessary for our people.
Yeah,
man.
it is.
And it is very important that we encourage, support, and protect you along the way. A lot of people don't know the dynamics of our relationship as it relates to us talking about life way more than we talk about this podcast. We talk about your leadership, what you got going on, what you got going on in your personal life. And I just got so much respect and admiration for you guys. And I'm cheering you on.
I received that one.
Yeah. See, they don't know when we had, earlier 2023, we was at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Hoping Coach was going to come through. He was going to pay for the coffee.
Right.
Letting them know that we was turning and burning the midnight oils and giving everything to it.
Come on.
And
Tell the whole
you
story.
said, look, but if it's about money, you doing it for the, you ain't doing it for the right reason. If you told us we stick to the script, we was gonna be good. You told us everything that we was going through had to happen and was absolutely necessary.
Yep.
And it was funny because I felt like we ended the conversation and you gave us a bag of money, right? But that bag of money and trust and courage and fulfillment, all of that was just great counsel.
Yeah.
So all the stuff that I'm like, you gave all that to us in one powerful, affirming and confirming conversation. So, man, we got richer that day.
No, absolutely.
In mind, body, and spirit.
Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah. Finance too.
No, absolutely, man. No, and I always appreciate that. I always you do a really great job just grounding us and always keeping us, understanding and remembering what's most important, man.
Facts.
And let's do it for the fellas today, man.
Yeah, let's go.
Do it for the fellas because you got these top 4 reasons, and I'm sure the fellas are gonna catch some real growth from this. So let's take the people on the journey to this. We talking here, y'all. If you just joined the conversation, the top 4 reason. She's not sexing you, all right, in your relationship.
Right.
And it might not be just because about the sex itself.
Come on.
Coach Crump, tell me what's going on, man. What's the first reason? Let's get into it.
Well, tell us first, before you even get into the reasons, what's the psychology behind it? Like, is it, because I think a lot of guys, of course, guys, I mean, we sexually driven, I would say. It's just a part of our DNA to be, God incentivizes what he wants you to do, which one thing is procreate.
Yeah.
So he gonna get you something that's gonna work when time, But I think because guys are they're so motivated by sex, when they're not getting it, they try to go about all these different ways of trying to get it, not really understanding what's truly the foundation of what's happening.
Yeah.
So could you give us in general your philosophy if a woman is with her guy and for whatever reason, she's just not sexually connecting with him, responding to his advances, what might be going on in that situation?
Now, let's put a pin in the psychology because I want to get into that.
Okay.
But let's first kind of acknowledge my personal philosophy. But prior to that, let's give some context.
Okay.
Right? So the space that I'm going to speak from is the context of understanding the power of women, understanding the necessity of a woman, understand what she does to even make us better, make us bigger, make us brighter. Like, a woman is incredibly powerful. So first and foremost, the challenge is trying to even understand like how to even harness and hold and mold and nurture and cultivate such a powerful being. That's one. But I really want to educate and empower women and men on the plight of men in general, so that we approach it with the same energy.
Okay.
Right. So what that means is, when you look at prisons, it's a private institution. Over 90% of all inmates are male. When you look at how a woman gets benefit from a government that takes advantage of Section 8 housing, how you qualify, get a man out the house. Right. When you look at violence, both men convicted and it happening to them is 9 times worse. When you look at what happens to a child when you take a man out of their life, it's 3 times worse. Like, when you look at all the stats, now that we have all of this information age, we got census to now get 10 and 20 years recorded on what happens when you remove a man. When you take a man out, it deteriorates everything around you. And so women are the most powerful being, but men are the most important. And it's important to understand that going in, that if this going to work, we have to have strong men. I was working in Bermuda, and I was funding for my school, all boys school with an all male staff. And some of the people who were other nonprofit sectors would be like, man, they've been given to this group for women and children for 20 years, but saying it as a braggadocious statement, as like, I've been giving back to women and children for this nonprofit for 20 years. We do a 5K, we do this annual toy giveaway, we do all of this. Well, the purpose of creating a nonprofit or coming in the space of working on building something to help something in our community is for you to eventually go out of business. If you're meeting the need, the goal is to eventually get out of business. But when we talk about, men being in a home, they need no government assistance. They need no nonprofit organization to help the women and children. You only need those organizations, and you only need government assistance. You only need a third party to intervene where there's not an initiated, healthy, holistic man in the home.
Wow.
So for all of us other entities to be taking advantage, government to make money, private institutions to make money, including prisons, for everybody else to benefit, you only have to do one thing. It's take the man out the home.
Wow.
We do that. Everybody else gets to monetize. How do you sex sales? Well, who you using to influence? A woman's body, objectifying it to a man to influence him to give his power away. You know what I mean? So this, in every aspect, if you get the man out the home, right, we don't want the battle. You know what I mean? Like, I want to kill every male child. Like, whatever it is, if I sort that out, I don't have to worry about that entire community. And our community, more than any other community that I work with, is affected by that the most.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I start with that because I want both parties to understand I respect and revere most. And like, women are so powerful, but men are so important. And we have to work together. Like, that has to happen. And so that's my approach coming in. So how does this work when we get together? It gets intimate. The context matters too when it comes to this. If I'm in a relationship with a woman, are we courting or are we in covenant? Because I really don't have a lot of advice if you're just courting, because I believe in a different fundamental basis that sex is for marriage. So like, I'm really speaking to, in this context, about people that got married, right? And now the sex is done dried up, right? Now we done became roommates. So I wanted to kind of like start there. And then I wanted to be honest about myself. Whenever I have dry spells in my marriage, when I'm not having sex with my wife and I'm struggling, I found out through therapy, through mentors, through education, that I had a psychological condition or symptoms of it called alexithymia. Alexithymia is a condition where you have difficulty expressing, understanding, and comprehending emotions. So like, my wife wanted something from me, that me being socially conditioned to be masculine, to be alpha, to focus on performance, right? I never went to a workshop or went to a class of how do I express my internal feelings in an intimate relationship. Like, I never had a class in high school. I never had a class in college. I never had a man break me down like, this is how you do it. It was always, this is how you get the draws. This is how you mac. This is how you holler at a female, not get in an intimate relationship. That was never demonstrated. And then I have incredible empathy for men. And I'll let you guys chime in on this. I was raised by an incredible father. I was in the same bedroom my entire life. I was go to church. My mom and dad was married their entire time. All of these things. And I go to college. I meet my college sweetheart. Like, we're born to be together. I travel the world. I play professional sports. I get the house on the hill with the 2 kids and the dog and the picket fence. We both made 6 figures. I've been with my wife for over 22 years and I'm still learning. So imagine the brother just take away one of those elements. He didn't have a father in his life.
Mm.
He don't have education. He don't have money. He never made six figures. He never traveled the world. He don't have no children. He can't procreate. His wife can't. Just imagine any of those. I'm still learning with the same woman for 22 years, but I'm supposed to look at another man who has a degree, who has information, who has access, and he is supposed to be able to know what to do because he's 30, because he got money,
Right.
because he's been with 10 women. Bro, I have incredible deep empathy for men. I already know, bro, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because we never arrive, we always evolve.
Wow. I mean, that's really good context. That's really, I mean, because it's so much to unpack in that, from the importance of having a man in the house all the way up until the issues that you had as a man developing to be, because you said something very important. It's not really just having a man, it's having a healthy, holistic, well, what them words,
Healthy,
adjectives,
holistic, initiated
man. And we
Yeah.
already understand we got a hardly initiated generation of men
Mhm.
Exactly.
that we dealing with right now. So
I literally develop a 54-page curriculum to help boys become men, and we do a service that we built with their fathers to hand over that for the next 20 years in Bermuda over a 3-day weekend. But we talked about, the male archetypes, and we get into the masculinity and all of those things to identify in a healthy way, right?
yeah,
And so people don't have that general knowledge, man. Like, people don't go through a 3-day and all in intense weekend with their father or their father figure to understand how they're supposed to pass the torch to become a man that they're supposed to be. Like, that's not a thing. So I created it to try to make it a thing in my world. You know what I mean? So I'm doing it with my son this year. He'll be 15.
Wow, that's dope.
that's
dope.
incredible, man. That's
Yeah.
incredible. I mean, and that's great context, to take the people into this. And we didn't even really go into a lot of the work that you've done, because y'all, when I tell you, Coach has been doing phenomenal work, really, I would even say internationally, with men for years now.
20 plus.
So he is not new to being able to, understand and develop men. So speaking on the behalf of the plighter men, this is no one more qualified to do so. I'm very excited,
Facts.
to go into this topic now, as we now transition into sex. In some ways, the sex can just be a symptom of these deeper issues.
Exactly. But women don't know this. And so the one we talk about was, number one, why am I not having sex or having a very intimate, dynamic relationship?
Number one,
silence the little boy. Silence the little boy. And what do I mean? Because that can mean anything. Every man has 3 personalities. They got the boy, the monster, and the God. Now, the challenge is the little boy begs for attention, right? The monster takes attention, and God is attention, right? But God's going to let you, the God in you is going to let you choose. The little boy is going to be crying out like, me, take care of me. I want what I want. You know what I mean? Why this? Why that? Right? And so you have to fight that monster in you. That's that lust. Every man's battle, right? So you're trying to understand that, because that's happening to you. That's real. Then this little boy, all your insecurities, all your past traumas, all your neglect, it's constantly screaming, what about me? But then there's a divine thing in you that's bigger than you, that's past all of this, that's more than transactional, that's transformational. That's in you, but you don't have a relationship with it.
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean? You haven't even seen it, but you know something's there. And so every man is wrestling with stewarding, right? Those 3 things. And so I tell people, like, let's identify those, and where are you with them? Because some men, that monster, man, he got them on porn, masturbation, like he taking them out. You know what I'm saying? People's like, they feel like, I got stuff in my closet, I'm keeping secrets. You don't have stuff in your closet. You're actually in bondage. You know what I mean? So for me, I try to work with men. Let's stop lying. How are you with the monster? How are you with the little boy? How are you with God? Let's deal with that, because if you don't control and manage them, then you can't manage no woman. You have like you're constantly going to be warring with yourself, warring in your heart, and you're just going to put that out, and she's not going to connect. Now she's not going to know what it is because she's not a man. She don't know it like to have that monster.
Yeah.
She don't have no little boy, but she does have that God part. You know what I mean? So it's like that's the dynamics that men have to work with to understand. Silence that little boy so you can even hear God. Right? Deal with your monster, silence the little boy so that you can get in a space where you can receive a woman, right? Because we're called to like cultivate and nurture. Like we're not, people keep coming like, man, let's 50-50. I don't know about all of these new things that's coming out. To be honest, this gender war energy, the red pill, blue pill. I lean on y'all to give me. I've been with my wife for 22 years. We've been married for 17. So all I know is we're all in on this is what we're doing. But it is my responsibility to lead. It is my responsibility to okay, what does she need right now? How do I do this? When do I do this? And take care of my family. But if I'm warring with myself, bro, like if I'm warring with like, I don't feel validated, affirmation, confirmation, validation. Like I'm struggling with that. Then I'm struggling with getting my rocks off. Then I'm struggling with my purpose. I ain't got time to pay attention to her. You know what I mean? And so
that's what I was going to ask, because I want to get some some context on what that looks like. Because if a brother is struggling with that, the little boy, I can imagine that might manifest itself in a lot of different ways. So how would he even know that that's what he's dealing with? Or how would she even know? What are some things he might do?
Like he gets defensive or passive aggressive manipulation when it comes to like I'm talking, like I tell people all the time when my marriage change is when my perspective change. Like I would be some type of way about my wife and she's not even in the room. Like I remember when I was on a dodo ministry and I was a petty priest and I was immature and I was struggling with the little boy in me.
Wait, what's the dodo ministry?
Dodo ministry, you just dumb, bro.
Okay, got you.
You just doing the most. So I was bathing my kids, right? And so I was bathing them. They was like 1 and 3 or, around that age, and bathing my kids. My wife had quarter in, she was in corporate. And so she's coming home late, multiple nights back to back. I'm bathing my children. And I'm going like, man, I bet you she gonna say something and not cook. And she haven't given me none for 3 days. So I'm bathing my children and I'm already arguing with my wife in my head. She's at work, right? So I'm conjuring up energy, right?
That's not even real.
Narratives. I'm conjuring up all this. Why? Because her response to what I am responsible for, I needed to validate my existence. Right?
Yeah.
So a little boy is, I determine my value on your response. A man of God's like, it's an honor for me to be responsible and I don't care about your response. Right? And so for me, like I had to really take a long time. My wife, man, thank God for giving me grace to grow. I had to take a long time to be able to manage him because he would sabotage so much moments that she just needed to be heard. Like she didn't even need me to really do something. Like she just needed to be heard, supported, listened to. Like, why would I have a problem with that with my wife? But if I'm not, man, I ain't had no sex in 5 days. Or she disrespected me last week. Or, man, I'm tired. I've been working double shit. Like, you know what I mean? You get into yourself, but you don't get into a relationship for yourself. You get into say that I'm prepared to be responsible to serve. You know what I mean?
Yeah. First of all, I know a lot of people done had an argument with folks in their head that never happened.
Oh yeah.
That can happen all the time. Like you just going through this snowball of negative energy.
Petty priest ministry.
That's not even existing or happening.
What this person's probably doing, what they thinking about, why they did it.
Bro, all of that. And what's wrong with you? Nothing. Bro, you know what I mean? Because I'm masculine. What's wrong with you? Nothing. I'm good. Why you tripping? Knowing that I had this whole
conversation. But you done had a 30-minute argument before she came home.
And I want to make sure I understand what's going on, like with this particular example. Like, what's going on in your head? Was it the sex? Is it, or what?
No, bro.
What is it?
So that's what I'm saying. Like we keep talking about these symptoms and missing the issue. That's why it's so. What makes your platform so powerful, bro, is that you got women listening. Men are talking and venting in certain spaces and having conversation, education, but nothing changes until we come to the table. And so you created a safe space where women can understand what men are processing, because she knows like women ain't stupid. They feeling the vibe. Like something's up. Even if I say, no, I'm Gucci.
They know that ain't true.
Bro, they know something up, but they don't understand, man, he's battling this little boy with all these traumas, right? All of these narratives, like all of these challenges, all of this social conditioning.
Got it.
And I'm battling a monster, and I'm trying to get to know God in me. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm doing all of that in real time every day. You know what I mean? So she's like, why you don't see me? Why you want to pay attention? Like I give you hints. You don't know. I'm trying to like make sure I don't go smash somebody else, make sure I don't jack off, make sure I don't watch porn, make sure the monster just ding, 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 ding
all day.
I'm trying to fix my Instagram scroll ministry. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, not interested. Right. Don't show that. You know what I mean? Like you constantly doing that, and you constantly like, hey man, step up. No, that's a lie. That's not true. Stop being sensitive. Pause. Don't say nothing. Like I got to manage the little boy. And so the more, and here's the thing, this is what I've experienced. The more I spend time with my God, the less time I give them, the more my God just reigns supreme in me. You know what I mean? So now me walking in this space of being a mature man, whenever I kind of give to the little boy or just be wrestling too much with the monster, I kind of rededicate my life to the God in me. Now, I got enough experiences. I read enough books to know how to recalibrate. Some guys don't even have a starting point, bro.
Yeah.
That's why I have a lot of empathy for men. Like, bro, I read a lot of books, bro.
Yeah.
I've mentored thousands of men. I've been in coaching sessions for over 10,000. I've been on a men's prayer call with men only for 12 years, 5 days a week.
Wow.
I can only imagine what you hear on them calls.
Bruh, porn addiction. You know, we just had a brother that now he wasn't on my prayer call, but this, like some people do this space for content. I do this for a calling. Like all the stuff I do for men is 99% free. Like, you know, me being on that call, for example, for hours, like that's where my heart is, because I know I know the battles you fight separate of your situation.
Yeah.
So you got a situation that you're not prepared for, and you got a battle that you're losing. Situation everybody want to talk about because they can see that. But nobody's seeing this battle that you fight every single day, hour on top of hour. And a lot of guys Novocaine. So me, I could see all little symptoms like he hitting the drink. He's staying at work, double shift. He's just working. You know what I'm saying? Like he hitting the dro. He on the video game. Like I'm going to find a way to just Novocaine it so that I don't have to address it. You know what I'm saying? But that don't resolve it. You know, you gotta face it to fix it. But another thing that I've learned as I've grown is you gotta feel it to fix it too. Right. So a lot of times we struggle with communication because again, alexithymia, I'm struggling with the difficulty of expressing and understanding my feelings.
Okay, so tell me about alexithymia.
Yeah,
because I've heard it, and I think we even had. I'm trying to think who brought it up on the show, but I didn't get context into what it is.
It's a difficulty of understanding and expressing your emotions. You can look it up on Google too, but it's just you're having a strong challenge in an intimate setting with your partner of processing, understanding, expressing your feelings. But if you came from a place like me, I was raised old school. Boy, shut up. Come over here. You know what I mean? Like, get to work. My daddy was old school, hardcore. So I'm like, yes, sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir, no, sir. I'll say yes, sir, no, sir. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, still to this day. Yes, sir. Like, what? Yep. That's what we're doing. My feelings is secondary. So now my wife is asking me to have long conversations, pay attention to me. I'm like, what do you want? Like, get to the bottom line. My energy is always get to the bottom line. Well, it ain't about the bottom line. I just want you to listen. That don't make no sense to me. So then now I'm being insensitive because she's different, because she processes different. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm being judgmental and condemning, at least in my behavior, my tone, my temperament. But I'm not even catching that that's killing a vibe for me to have sex with you because like the energy's off. Now, when I want to hunt, when I want to get the smash, when I want to capture the prize, oh, I'm being all type of Machiavelli. You know what I'm saying? Oh, girl, look at that dress. But you know, subconsciously, my wife is home.
Yeah.
My work is done. Mentally, I have checked out of the Machiavelli game. Like, I'm married.
I get it.
And so when she's asking me questions, I'm like, I got a job, you got a house.
What else?
I take care of the kids. We go to church. But that's a whole separate compartment for intimacy. Okay, you took care of the responsibilities, but for me to have a desire intimately with you, I need a connection.
How many men you think they got that mindset where I'm good after I take care of the responsibilities?
Oh, a lot.
Most. Okay.
A lot. I was there, bro. I was there for years. So I'm like, man, she tripping.
Does that just happen? Like, you know, bro, naturally it was just from not knowing. Like, how do you get in?
Social condition and ignorance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I love my wife. That's why I say, like, I don't see how a lot of this can happen unless you're in a long-term committed relationship that's under a covenant that's separate from your opinions and feelings to bring you back to oneness and on the same page, right? So, like, me being so in love with my wife, it kept me fighting. It kept me showing up. It kept me trying. It kept me learning. You know what I'm saying? But the ninja in you first gonna be like, well, she tripping.
Yeah.
Man, bump all of that, bro. Like, again, I'm taking care of that. I ain't smashing nobody. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't beating it. Like, bro, you good.
I'm not gonna lie, Coach Crump. I've never been in that situation. I've never been in this situation like an extended time where a woman is withholding sex for whatever reason, and I felt like I really truly didn't know when the next time I was gonna have sex with this woman. I've never, and that's because I've never been in that kind of long standing.
You got to be in a long relationship.
That's what I'm saying. Have you? But yeah, so I can't. That's like I can only imagine. I don't even know what the hell I would do. But so now I'm getting this training from you because that seems like a very scary thing. So have you? I'm curious. Have you ever been in that situation?
I have. I mean, my longest relationship in 3 years, and you know, it's easy to keep sexual desire high.
Yeah.
3 years in.
And then if it slow down or stop, then that's kind of like the end of the relationship.
And typically if it's slow down or stop, it's usually me, typically
right.
that have been the reason for that, not necessarily her withholding it. But I actually want to talk about this too, because I think this is really important.
But I want to say something that you talking about courting compared to a covenant.
No, that's what. No, I agree.
But I think is these things are important. I'm not qualified to advise somebody about what their sexual and sex dynamic should be in a courting phase outside the covenant. I'm expressing my personal journey and me mentoring thousands of men in the context of being under a covenant with God,
right? With one woman.
Oh, I'm with you. I was just stating that that's I mean, for people who are going to get into that, in a covenant, in a long-term relationship. I mean, it sounds like that's an inevitable aspect of it. Like, if I can't remember, get married, you will have times where you don't have sex.
I can't remember who said it, but you don't marry a stage, you marry you don't marry a stance, you marry a stage. So like in your mind, this is what we do. Like, I'm married, the sex part is good because I got her, she got me, she gonna take care of that. That you got married. But where she is as a woman is not who she's going to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I've been married to 6 different women, but it's the same person. My wife has evolved. Yes, we was rabbits in college and first 5 years. We having sex all the time. As soon as we get married, we had a honeymoon baby. You know what I mean? And we had a baby right back after that. Like, cool. We was in our 20s. 30s, things change. And 40s, it definitely change. I mean, we're totally different people now. So those dynamics affect a lot of things. But the problem is not the seasons and not the stages. The problem is the stewardship of me having lack of skills of communication to keep intimacy through those seasons. So I'm being old Crump. I'm being the first version when she's in stage 3 or she's in season 4 or you know what I mean?
Right.
She's like, the college you don't connect to me no more. You know what I mean? We was broken, living in an apartment. I'm past that now. You know what I'm saying? So I had to always go back and say, let me mature, let me grow up, let me build up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the reality, because the relationship My wife's behavior is not my fault. My kids' behavior is not my fault. But they both are my responsibility. So I tell men all the time, it's not your fault. How somebody else behaves, it's not your fault. They have to be responsible and accountable. Accountability is your responsibility. They have to do that. But when it comes to as for me and my house, everything and everyone in my house, I'm responsible for that. So
let me ask you this now too, because I think this is important. Because when you get now this new evolved version of you, the question happens, what's wrong with you? How do you answer that question now?
When I'm asking her, she's asking me.
She's asking you, what's wrong with you?
Oh, I be honest. I express my feelings.
Okay.
So it depends.
So what's the difference now? So how are you able to?
Before I was, ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm straight.
So how do you know now to feel that? And how did you figure out to turn your emotions to words?
A bunch of L's, and then I finally started to educate myself. You know what I mean? I highly recommend this book. We're gonna give you guys some game too, but
yeah,
Hold On to Your Nuts, a relationship manual for men by Wayne Levine.
Okay. That sounds like a very interesting one. Sounds very clear.
Yeah, it's a relationship manual for men. I feel like it is a requirement for every man to read that book.
Let me go ahead and add that.
Must read then. We adding it right now.
Yeah. Hold on to your nuts.
I mean,
okay.
I was taught that a while ago.
Yeah.
And they break that down exactly what we're talking about here.
Yeah. Non-negotiable, unalterable terms.
That expression of I hear a lot of ladies communicate that issue, of men not obviously communicating.
It's not. You got to understand. A woman been living this whole time, right? A woman been living this whole time. Hey, living this whole time, understanding that. Hey, I'm watching The View. They're going to gossip clubs. Like, bro, I'm in LA Fitness. We in the sauna. How LA Fitness is built in Atlanta, just for you to know, both of the women and men saunas are like back to back.
What?
Yeah. So the dudes, like, we're in the sauna chilling.
Yeah.
I'm kind of get my sweat, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm out. There's a whole conversation and debate club and laughing of women who just met each other at the bike cycling or in the work in the sauna.
Wow.
They condition to conversate about the thing. We want to know performance. We'll talk sports talk.
Yeah.
Bro, who won? Who the best?
Yeah.
Who the GOAT? Women's talking about, girl, what you dealing with? No. Tell me more. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bro, I got this handled. I'm gonna handle mine. We got that type of energy. Why? Because we was focused on the bottom line. We was focused on performance. We was focused on results. Whereas a lot of women's conditioning, a lot of them, I want to be careful about, being general and absolute with everybody. But for most social conditioning for women, they grew up expressing themselves comfortably about different feelings and opinions of things. Whereas for us, it was about, did you get it done? You know what I mean? Who's the best? Who won? Who lost? So for us, it's a lot of performance energy, not, my emotions and how I'm processing all of that and how I understand yours and what that means and what I think it means and what you should try. We don't grow up with that. I grew up slap boxing, racing, you know what I mean? Sandlot sports. Like, I'll beat you. You can't guard me. Like, I grew up like that. I didn't grow up like, man, what's wrong with you? Everything's okay?
Right.
You want to talk?
Makes sense.
Like, I never grew up like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not natural. It's something I had to go learn. That's what I'm saying. Like, depending on the man and the situation and his battle with the monster, every man's battle, right? Shout out to that book. And the little boy, right? Shout out to George Blumen, the little boy in me. Like, if you haven't even know how to deal with that, and that's an everyday thing, that's still taking you out. You still caught up on pornography. You 30 years old, you still masturbating. You still can't commit to relationships. You still argue all the time. You still get into messages. You still can't keep a job. You still can't find a place to stay. You still can't. Like, if you still are struggling with that internal battle, being present in an intimate communication and connection over a long period of time with one woman, that takes an incredible skill set.
Give us those 3 books again. Shout out to KN, by the way. KN says, off topic of it, but it's actually on topic.
Yeah.
Do you have any book suggestions for it? She specifically said young teen boys. So let's say 13 to 14. Is that something that a 13 to 14-year-old should be reading, or is it more mature audience should be reading those?
The one Hold On to Your Nuts is all adult. I would recommend adult.
Okay.
Every Man Battle is adult as well.
Okay. And what was the third one?
The Little Boy and Me by Bishop George Bloomer. That's a good one. That's a good one. Boys can read that. And shout out to my book, How to Win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
My book is catered to boys.
Got it.
Boys, and 12 stages of 12 aspects of life that they should mature and get mentoring in.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah. And I'm the mentor in the book. Like, I give my examples. You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Man, I like that you broke that down for us, man, because the communication is a real skill set. And I want the fellas to really get that down packed. Did you have some like examples of like how we might need to respond to certain situations off the top of your head? Like, are there some common ways or examples that you like got in your bag that, you know, if she may kick something to you, how you may need to properly express it?
Yeah.
Off the top of your head?
Yeah. One, like, again, silence a little boy, don't argue.
Yeah.
Like, there's certain rules. I tell people all the time, you got to have a code that you live by as a man. And if you don't have one, start doing your research. Like, have certain codes that you live. So I don't argue, right? So,
I like that.
You know what I mean? Like, and here's the thing: your code, you can never tell a woman your code. So the code is your internal code that you live, right? Because what you allow will continue. So people don't behave based on what you say; they behave based on how you play. Right. And so you have to make sure that you live this thing. Like, when I was, ultra competitive, I never forget this time when it's the first time I experienced this in my young 20s. I was the head coach of a basketball team in Bermuda. It was undefeated. I was working the kids like crazy. I was staff of all of these things. But the Bermuda men's national team had practice after our boys team. But I was a yes sir, no sir. You know what I mean? I'm a by the book crook. Like, I'm like getting into these boys, like, you know what I mean? It was men 10 to 15 years older than me who was having a conversation in the parking lot. I'm walking from my boys' practice, and they said a cuss word. They in a huddle debating, having a cuss word. They pause and say, "Crump, my bad, man. We didn't mean to cuss." And I'm like, I'm walking to my car.
Yeah.
I had set such a reputation with my presence that even men in the night at a parking lot in Bermuda that's 10 years older than me
was apologizing
for using a cuss word because I walked by and I was somewhat in the proximity.
You might have heard got hit with a ricochet.
Yeah.
Ricochet cuss word.
The same thing. If your woman is being spicy, she having tone, she having temperament, she's being insulting, passive aggressive, social jabs, her behavior tells me the code that you live by.
I get that.
Because the same thing, a woman won't try certain things with certain men. They would joke with one man one way, they'll never joke with another. The same exact woman.
People really, I don't know. I don't know that people believe that.
That's a fact.
I don't know enough men believe
the same
that.
exact woman would treat one man one way and be like, let them see their favorite celebrity or favorite athlete or favorite. You'll see a whole different. Oh, I gotta go get dressed. Oh, you? Oh, right. You nobody. You know what I'm saying? And let's be honest, we're the same way. It was women back in the day. Soon I would say hello by slapping their booty. It was another female in the same exact school, in the same exact 100 meters of feet. I would go check my breath before I said hello to her.
Wow. That's true. Yeah.
Now, she didn't put out, you have to respect me and you have to talk because I live this way. How she walked, how she talked, told you how to behave.
Yeah.
Same thing's true for men. I don't tell my wife I move a certain way and she acquiesce.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, this is heavy. And first of all, we still on number one. Yo, we 45 minutes in. As a matter of fact, y'all, listen, everybody that's in here right now, we 45 minutes in. Please hit that like button. Y'all hit that like button because we are in here. That's that gray joint. So we can show some love and we can spread this on them YouTube streets.
We need that. And shout out to all the members joining too. We're gonna pull those up. Go ahead and pull those up, Lano. Shout out to all the initiates joining. And we had we had Simply Nzinga. I think Nzinga, she's always dropping new membership, the bottles. Y'all dropping the bottles in the chat. So shout out to Nzinga for showing love.
Shout out to Nzinga.
And should we queue up the initiated hotline? Because I really want to hear from some men. And we've been looking at the analytics, Crump, and we got more men.
Hey,
come on, man!
It's more men coming up in here.
They still silent in the chat. So we want to encourage all the brothers to get not just join.
Let's go.
The initiate, not just become initiated, but actually join the chat. But it's like 30 because we was 20% men. Now we like 39, like 39%.
Yeah,
come on,
which is crazy.
Yeah, shout out to you guys, man.
Yeah. So I really want the men to check in. So is it cool if I go ahead and drop the
absolutely? Let's drop it.
that.
So guys, we drop an initiation hotline. So that's going to be a link that we go ahead and we put in the chat. So you guys can join it. You can come backstage. You put your name in. You go backstage. And what happens is you just wait patiently, guys, because we still having a conversation. You can watch the show from backstage. It's actually a really good experience still. And we're going to let y'all come up one at a time. And I want my brothers to chime into the conversations here. I want my brothers to comment. So look, sisters, y'all still join. Y'all can come back as well. But I really especially want to encourage my brothers as we talk into the plight and some of the issues that our brothers are facing here in this conversation with the men's coach, Coach Crump, here today on the platform. So we're going to drop that in here. In fact, it is now live in here. It's pinned, and we'll be dropping it throughout the conversation as well. So brothers, get ready to come up on here and chop it up with us.
And you know what would be nice? It'd be nice if we actually got somebody up on here, whether man or woman, with a difference of opinion on this. Or I'm just curious if everybody, agreeing that this is pretty much how the dynamic works. So I'm very curious about that.
I didn't really state my stance against anything. I kind of just was giving some education in general.
Yeah.
Where what a person is dealing with. And then now we got to talk about, okay, what's the tactful thing to do? And one of the things, and number one, silence a little boy. Number two, learn to listen. Hearing is a blessing. Listening is a skill.
Oh, I like that.
Say that one more time.
Hearing is a blessing.
Hearing is a blessing. Listening is a skill. Learn to listen. It's very important. Not, hey, I heard you. No, you didn't.
Now, the listening part, is it literally just listening as in the auditory going on? Okay. It's okay.
No.
It's more
that's
than
the hearing.
Yeah.
Okay. So break it down for us.
So hearing is a blessing. Listen, so God has blessed you to have ears that can hear.
Yes.
Right. But listening, I have the volume, the energy, the body language, the countenance, the spirit. You know what I mean? And what's not being said.
Listen to what's not being said.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, it takes a lot of skill, education, and practice to really learn how to be a good, intimate listener, to know the necessary adjustments to make in your response and not your reaction, to create a space that creates a vibe, an energy, a connection. It's like, oh, you get me. You know what I mean? And so that's something I had to do. I had to learn to listen. And I hate using these quotes sometimes. Shout out to my wife.
What you thinking?
She's a good coach too, right? And every time I drop the ball, I remember I used to be King Dodo. I was Petty Peach ministry. I had a season in my life where, unfortunately, she had to give me grace to grow.
Yeah. And
every time I like, hey, you know what I'm saying? And I'm responding, but I'm not even looking at her. She's like, boy, hearing is a blessing. Listening is a skill. My wife is quick to use my quotes.
That's funny. That's funny.
She is quick to use my own quotes on me, man. But shout out to my wife.
Shout out to her. I had to look up countenance, what that meant. I'm like, what does that mean? A person's facial expression.
Facial expression. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So like
countenance.
So when I look at the face, and my wife is very expressive, so she knows. Here's what pissed my wife off. She knows that I know her. So she knows is real negligence on me to not pay attention to her because I know her. So it pisses her off even more, not because I'm not paying attention, but that I know her and I know how to pay attention, and I'm making a conscious choice not to pay attention. And that says, you know what, you're a real jerk. which is one of her words. She like to,
And that there can affect your sex life
bruh. There's no
with your lady.
You ain't getting nothing. You ain't getting nothing. Like I ain't even. We're all the way grown. Me and my wife are all the way grown. The vibes got to be right, bro. You know what I mean? Like I'm past the days of smash and bash. I just gotta have sex. No. I need you to look at me, hold me, rub me, tell me sweet nothings. I need you to take your time. I need you to want to be here. I need you present.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I was younger, though, gotta get my rocks off. Gotta get my rocks off. Back to work. Gotta get my rocks off. Back to work. Gotta get my rock. And then my wife is like, you know what? I'm really not feeling this. You know what I'm saying? So we both have grown to the space where it's like, bro, we want an experience. Like, and I want you to really want to be with me, not have sex. I want you, not because I'm married, not because I have to do the duty. I want no duty booty. You know what I'm saying? I want you to want to be here, intimate with me. And then that creates a dope sex. You know what I'm saying? Dope conversation, pillow talk, everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know what? And just to be, because I actually want to bring some context to this, I want my people for the initiation hotline to come back. If you've ever experienced some issues in your sex life, or in the past with what we're communicating, or if you currently experiencing this, I want you to bring it up. And I know this can get a little crazy, so if you want to come up on the anonymous tip, I'm 100% okay with that for this episode, because I think that's okay. And you coming up anonymous, to just come in here, enter. You don't necessarily have to turn on your camera. I will prefer it, but I really want to have these real conversations with y'all, however we get to have it tonight. And we're going to continue to put that in the chat. So y'all come backstage, because we about to start bringing y'all up in just a few.
Right.
So come on back here, because I want to have that conversation. Because again, we in here talking about the 4 reasons why she does not have sex with you.
The sex thing is tricky too, because it's a lot of sexless relationships. I mean, we've had multiple shows that we've done on that, or maybe just one, I can't remember. But I think I want to say a couple of them. We at least brought up the conversation. A lot of sexless relationships, and they go on for so long without anybody specifically addressing the foundation of the situation.
Exactly.
It's kind of crazy. Like,
but you can't, with women being like really forced to manage so much in our society today. Like, if a woman just saying, like, look, I'm home and I'm taking care of my home, and then I'm ready for my husband, she got to go to work. You know what I mean? She got to do this. Like, it takes a lot, respectfully, for them to be in that space. You know what I mean? Like, men are wired differently. I could work all day, but I'm always ready to smash. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could work double shift.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it ain't never emotionally drained me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always ready for that. And then our levels of intimacy, desire, sometimes 4 times higher. You know what I mean? Like, that drive, like, bro, we're grown men. Let's keep it a buck. Grown men still having wet dreams. Woman never had a wet dream in their life. Like, bro, I can bust off in my dream. Like, that's how much.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Bro, like, so a woman, their bodies is not, they bleed. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
For a whole week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're having wet dreams and they bleeding. Bro, our physical bodies is doing something totally different. The engine is operating something totally different.
Right.
So for me, it is important that both men and women get to the table to have a better understanding of each other. So that, listen, I need to have it, but I need to understand how to connect to you. Because a lot of what you want from me is through the physical, from a man's perspective. But a lot of what a man wants from a woman is through the emotional. You know what I mean? So we both have to learn. Baby, you're going to have to learn it. That's why, bro, why you think the porn industry and the strip club industry and the massage ministry and whatever other ministry and the escort, bro, why these are billion, how much ass they got to run? How much time they got to be on? They got to run one Super Bowl ad. Because guys are paying up. Guys are paying every single day just for that thing. Why? Because it's that much of a need.
Yeah. It's big.
Bro, it's huge. Oh, but a woman, she can't comprehend, like, why you going to the strip club? Why you addicted to porn so much? It's like, why men struggle with that? Why? Because their bodies are different. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about saying something wrong with somebody. It's understanding somebody. But if you're not at the conversation and to fully, I'm here to understand and support you. And as your spouse, I got your back. If you need something, I'm gonna take care of that. If you need to listen and hear and be still and just support me, I'm gonna do that.
Wow.
I have no energy against that. Like I'm here to support you. Like I had to question myself, like, bruh, like why are you really tripping that she just wants to talk? Why are you really tripping that she just wants to spend time? That's your wife. You know, I don't. That's your wife.
Yeah.
It's hard to
Like-
initiate. It's cool. It's cool, coach.
You know,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, when you even think about the energy you have towards some of her needs, you really realize you're struggling with that little boy.
Nah.
Because as a grown man, you should feel no type of way on any level, on any day to meet your wife's emotional needs, bro. And I'm telling you, before I came here, I was rubbing all on my wife booty. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like, look, girl, you about to get toe up on the toe.
Slayer.
But let me be honest. I had to rededicate my intimacy because we was having a dry spell.
Mm.
And I was justifying in my head. It's been a week. It's been 2 weeks. It's been a month. I'm like, it's her. And spending time with God. You called me December 11th last month.
Yeah.
And I said, Ryan, I'm actually on a 30-day rededication to making my wife a chief priority.
Yep.
Man, she been giving it up. You know what I mean? She said she had a prayer yesterday. She said, I don't know what's going on with him, but I like it, but I don't want it to get messed up. You know what I'm saying? But here's going back to the man code. I didn't make no announcement.
Well, because I asked him, I said, okay. I said, cool. I said, is this something that you doing on your own, or is this something that you share with your wife? He was like, absolutely not. And you told me it was it was just between you.
But I'm only sharing. I know she's wife, but I'm only sharing this for the educate. Like you can't be making these announcements about what you're gonna do with your woman. Just do it and be consistent and keep showing up, rebuilding that trust bond. You know what I mean? Like so and I wasn't doing it based on her reaction at all. I was based on who my values are as a man of God who is married. I would behave this way no matter who I was married to. Now I want to get back to that point of my breakthrough is that my energy of being petty priest and being dodo ministry and struggling with that little boy. And I know we're going to talk about the second point and the third point, which I really want to talk about. But when I finally stopped saying my wife is behaving like this, and so my wife is behaving like that, and my wife should be doing this, and my wife should be doing that, and I stopped and I said, that's not my wife. That's Nicole, who's a woman who has real fears and real feelings like any other human being who happens to be my spouse. But when I had her as a title, whenever she didn't fulfill a title that was in my head that she had no clue about, she fell short all the time and didn't even know it. And I was bringing that resentment every time I showed up. My lack of effort, I'm not interested because you're not being a wife in my head. Instead of accepting Nicole and supporting what she needs in a real way as a man, particularly her man, particularly a man of God, particularly a man who's married. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this, because I want to get some context. We mentioned a dry spell, right?
Yeah.
Is the dry spell as simple as just not having sex, or is it some other things that kind of qualify into what a dry spell looks like?
Yeah.
How long is it? Okay. And did you at that time and just in general qualify a dry spell as somewhat of a check engine light for a relationship?
I want to make sure I answer your question.
That was like a 3-in-1 right there.
No, it was.
Oh, yeah, it was a complex question.
Yeah. That's a good question,
For
because
me,
I hear that.
A dry spell is that we just ain't been connecting, touching, loving, kissing, hugging, intimate, and having sex for a while.
Yeah.
For a while, for me, is a week.
Oh, so that's different for every guy.
Yeah. But bro, I didn't say sex. How that? I was a grown man, bro.
Kissing, hugging, touching.
As a grown man, you're going to live with a woman who we dedicated our lives to serve each other to the day we die. We go a whole week in the house, hugging, touching, kissing, loving. I love you, baby. Something like I'm just going to initiate some level of affection on some level. Like I'm talking about, like when you married for years, you with somebody for years, like the routine could just take, like you could just check out. I give you a couple of days.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, bro. You human. Weak. Oh, we own something. Somebody's on something. It's either me, you, or the devil. Somebody's on something. But it's my responsibility as the head of this house to intervene first. That's where I stand with mine. And that's the problem. The challenge with men is that you just can't, like, let's say, you married with children. You good. Okay, that's one level. You are responsible for your wife and kids too, though, bro. So it's like, and I don't know how anybody, but the initiation of it has to come from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is your family. Like, I this is why I help men who be like, nah, bro, she should be initiating sex and she should be initiating. I'm like, bro, let's be grown men. Your house is on fire. And somebody has to die in order to save the whole family. Who's going? You.
It's going to be you.
Somebody's trying to rob your whole family. Got a gunpoint. Somebody got to take the bullet. Who is going to be?
It's going to be you.
It's going to be you. Now, war, the world is at war. Somebody in this household, the government has made a draft. Every household got to give one person to go fight. Who is going to be?
It's going to be you.
Bro, without no hesitation or reservation, you stepping up to take the lead on anything that comes to your family that includes your wife. So, bro, don't get weird energy now. Because you incompetent, because you ain't confident, because you ain't nice like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just call it a buck. I get it. That's why I say I come with the empathy. I already know you don't know. I already know you struggling. You know what I mean? And I was there for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a reason why I was on that prayer line for 12 years straight. I was struggling. I was suffering in silence. I don't know what to do with this monster. Nobody told me about that in college. This little boy, he's still here. I thought the degree would put him away. I thought getting married would put him away. I thought being a professional would get him away. I thought having children I thought getting baptized would put him away. Little boy still there. That monster still there. I was like, bro, I need some tactful training, education on this, bro, because it's with me every day. You feel me?
No, that's heavy right there. And man, that little boy is that one kind of hits different. I got some questions, but before I do, I want to just acknowledge this for our people, because I want y'all to understand that I really want y'all to come up here and have this conversation with us. And I got some people, we having some cold feet tonight. I seen a brother jump up in here and jump right on up out.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna call no names, but I want y'all to come up in here for real though and join us in this conversation tonight. Again, listen, I know when the topics is deep and when it's hitting. So if you want to come up anonymously or not, we went ahead and put that link in there so you can join us here in the conversation, because I want to hear the family get on call and talk here to us, whether you've had some issues in a relationship, dealing with some of these communication issues you're talking about, these sex life issues you're talking about. Feel free to come up in here and give us your perspective, ask some questions. But going into that little boy, what was the issues that your little boy in particular brought into your relationship?
I was poor communicator intimately. When it comes to interpersonal with my wife, I was just very bad. And I had to get counseling because reading information wasn't enough. I had a real mental block. I did have an epiphany though recently. I think what stems from the root last year. What I didn't say about my fantastic, incredible upbringing is that the marriage that I saw every day. My mom and dad adopted me in their mid-40s. They raised 6 kids, and I was number 7. And they was in different bedrooms my entire life. So my mom and dad was in a different bedroom my entire life.
Wow.
That's one.
That's interesting.
That's one. 2, I've never in my entire life saw them kiss and hug and say, I love you.
Wow.
I've never in my entire life saw them hold hands.
Wow. And oh my gosh.
Were they intimate together?
Yeah. My dad would just in the middle of the night come through to her room and go back to his room.
Wow.
So I forgot some celebrity.
Cameron Diaz.
It was Cameron Diaz. She just actually said that we need to normalize married couples
in separate rooms,
in separate bedrooms. And I remember hearing that and thinking, this is a crock of bullshit. That's what I thought. And it's funny because we knew a young lady, and I'm gonna be very vague about this because we were very close to her. So if any details, she'll know exactly what we're talking about. But we knew of a young lady who had this situation going on in her home. And all I was thinking in my mind is, man, that dude is weak. That's what I was thinking in my mind. But hearing this,
my dad was a superman. He was a man in the community, deacon of the church, respected by everybody, took care of 4 generations of kids in the same house since 1956. 58.
So then I must have something wrong.
I'm just saying it's social conditioning, bro. Like for example, so in my mind, bro, taking care of my woman was getting married, going to church, and having kids, because that's what I saw every day of my life.
Got it.
I didn't even know intimate conversation was a requirement.
Yeah.
My wife brought that up to me. I didn't know. I had no clue. That's why I talk about that social condition.
Yeah.
Alexithymia, like it's like, bro, like I had a difficulty because I never even had to do it. And then I didn't even know I had to do it. So I'm ignorant and I'm incompetent in that space. And it's a huge need for her.
Yeah.
So it's like a conundrum on 10.
I want to, because you mentioned Cameron Diaz. I actually want to bring that up and kind of give an exact quote. She says, and this is according to Edition, just a publication with CNN. So this is some credible information. She says, and this is film star Cameron Diaz. Okay, we should normalize separate bedrooms. Diaz said, to me, I would have my house, you have yours. We have the family house in the middle. I will go to sleep. Hold on one second. I will go to sleep in my room. You go to sleep in your room. I'm fine, she said. And we have the bedroom in the middle that we can convene in for our relations.
Hell to the no. That's
it's a business. This I don't know what
bro,
I don't know what that is.
That ain't it, bro. I mean, and that's the challenge of a lot of these trendy things. Like I even saw something where Lala was saying it's easier to leave. I mean, it's harder to leave than stay in a marriage and with a family. I'm like, bro, it's so many people who are popular actors and actresses and who are popular people who are giving these life advice that are really to the left, bro. I mean, like it's not even like, okay, I could kind of like, these are things that's going, it's taking you way off the path. We have to my pastor, shout out to Dr. Darius Daniels. He says the principle of proclamation. You have to be principled in who you give your ear to, bro. Who you give access to that ear. Yeah. Anyway.
Nah, I agree because it's hard. I mean, people got their own rules that they living by right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's getting kind of crazy.
And let me tell you, man, it really, I think our initiates got a little cold feet tonight.
Okay. Well, that happens. That happens.
And it does. It absolutely does. But it's okay. Listen, here's what I'm gonna do for y'all. I'm gonna keep, as y'all feel like y'all want to go ahead and come in here, I'll keep it open for you guys, but we're gonna keep the conversation rocking.
Why do you think, and this is a challenge, right? Because every time I have conversations with women in person, they're like, oh my God, I didn't know this. Oh my God, I didn't realize. Oh my God, like even my own wife told me that. Like I didn't know men dealing with stuff like that. Like, is it the energy of like, man, that's deep. I'm not gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole because I didn't even know all of that was happening. You know what I mean? Because we're not saying, me versus you, or woman versus men. We're just kind of really giving context and depth and psychology and philosophy to a lot of things that people probably never heard or was aware of before.
Well, I mean, I think what it is people don't necessarily want to communicate maybe in a public forum that they having issues with sex. I mean, and when I say, don't get me wrong, the foundationally is other issues, but they having this, kind of what they see as the topical issues, having problems with sex. I think people just generally, sex is a sensitive topic. People just really don't want to share. But that's not what people want to,
But I pray that the information that was shared was given more grace to grow for both. Like I'm prayerful that women are saying like, okay, a man may not even be aware. He may have the same condition that I have. Like you ignorant to it, and you're incompetent, and you don't know how huge of a need it is for me, like on a real level. So it's like I'm hoping that awareness like brings a level of sensitivity and empathy to be like, you know what, I gotta be so stern, because the reason why is that, okay, I'm not getting a connection, or I'm not getting my needs met, and then people are being very resentful towards each other. And that's you can't be intimate with somebody you have resentment towards.
So wait, I think you just inspired some people. So because we got some folks back here that want to come up here now, we're gonna bring some folks here to the stage. We got a couple people back here.
That's what's up.
I'm gonna start with my brother back here. We got back here, brother Mark, coming to the platform. Welcome to Harley Initiated, brother. How you living, my guy?
What's going on, brother? Is the music in the background too loud?
We good, man. We could rock it out, man. How you living, brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, man. I'm here in the gym working out. I wasn't seeing no brothers getting on, so I figured let me go ahead and interrupt my workout a little bit.
Let's get it,
brother.
Let's get it.
Inspire
I love
to
that.
get on.
So, hey, do me a favor. Start here for me, Mark. Give me your age, your location, and go into your comment, brother.
Just turned 38.
Congratulations. Happy birthday. Happy belated.
Hey, man, appreciate it. And I'm in Albany, Georgia.
Okay. Albany.
Oh, man, I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
That's the 229, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, what you got for us?
I mean, just to kind of, I don't really have a question, but to kind of touch on that subject as far as still having that little boy within inside of you.
Give us your take on this.
I was literally just having a conversation last night, and I was saying that not only just us as men, but we also have to understand and take the initiative for the women as well, that we both have that little boy and that little girl inside of us. And if you expect your partner to be vulnerable with you, you have to learn to also nurture that little boy and that little girl inside of them. Is that making sense?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. You saying you got to nurture both.
Yes.
And listen, I first of all, Mark, I appreciate you coming up here, breaking the silence, and giving your perspective and your take on that one in the middle of your workout. But that's an absolute fact. Thank you so much for your take on that one, brother.
Man, no problem, man. I'm enjoying the podcast, man.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate you, but listen, I'm trying to figure out what gym Mark at right now. He got the Power Girl music going on in the background.
Hey, look, I got my Bluetooth in. I don't listen to music when I'm in here, but I interrupted my music because I saw you guys went live. So I said, okay, I know what I got to do tonight.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Go.
Hey, appreciate
Rock
that,
with
brother.
man.
Hey, much
no
love to you, Mark.
Hey, man, much love, man. Y'all keep doing y'all thing. God bless.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
you, bro. And shout out to Mark, man, for getting in that workout in. He already starting the year off how it's supposed to get
First of all, y'all see we got the brothers in the gym on here, y'all.
Yo, the Harley Initiated brothers, man, they really go hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They really go hard, and we need that.
Any man on this platform is a conscious brother, you know, who's in a space to grow and develop. So
that's a fact.
If he's on this platform and he's engaged, like he's a healthy brother, like he's on his journey. You know what I mean? For sure.
In fact, we actually got another a wonderful initiate getting on right now. We got Emily coming to the stage. Emily, what's up with you?
Hey, what's up, Emily?
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Super fan here. Just want to put that out there. I love you guys.
We love you too.
I am 37 from Florida. And I guess it's more of some advice maybe that I can use. So I'm in a marriage, and we've got our ups and downs. We have a little bit of an age gap, also as well. And
how old is your husband?
He's 27. I'm 37.
Okay, got a young man.
Yes, old-hearted though, old soul, and he's a great provider. He works, and he takes care of the house. I take care of him and the house and the kids. So I cook, I clean, I make sure, everything's done in the home. I make sure that, as his helpmate, that, the only thing he needs to do is get up, brush his teeth, and go. We recently this summer had kind of a rough patch where he was talking to girls on social media and talking to them sexually, of course. And it created this bad, argument between us. And we kind of went on a family vacation and we kind of took that to his dad's house. And his dad, basically his whole family's view of things is, the woman should always, do as the husband, basically needs 100%. And I'm like, okay, I get that. But to them, in their eyes, I'm not working, I'm not bringing in no income, therefore I'm useless.
Mm.
And that's what they instill in him. I'm
Mm.
ungrateful if I have any problems or any concerns. If I express my concerns, it's an issue. Um, and the fact that, he is, raising my 8-year-old, he's been in her life since she was 2. And, it's just a lot of opinions around him,
Mm.
and a lot of the red pill type of opinions too. How do I, without being that pushover, without being that motherly person to him, get him to acknowledge that none of that is okay? And for him to work on himself, he actually needs to acknowledge that he actually did something wrong. Like, he knows he did wrong and he says he does wrong, but when he comes and, admits it, there's no apology. There's no, it's
Mm.
just, all right, I did it. It is what it is. You're here, you're not, take it and leave it, and then just, go with it, or, that leave, you have an option, you
Yeah.
know. How do I get him to meet God more, try to work on himself more, how to be different with everybody in his ear, gaslighting that monster inside of him all the time. Like, cousins always outside partying, clubbing it up, getting drunk every weekend, and, they want that for him. They want him to be that married man, but still be able to go outside and go touch, strippers' asses, or sorry guys, strippers' butts and stuff like that, and just be okay with it, So
Mm.
what advice do you have that I can use that can help us grow without me getting frustrated enough and just leaving?
Mm. Yeah. First and foremost, thank you for sharing. And second of all, I'm proud of you. You're doing a great job. Keep showing up. It's important. It's necessary. Third of all, before we get to him, get the work you need. You know what I mean? As far as like just knowing that you're good enough already. You know what I mean? Showing up the way you are, right? Because a lot of expressions about what his family thinks about you, what other people may say, kind of seem like it got an emotional reaction out of you.
Yeah,
And you
yeah, I was
just
trying not to cry.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's okay to have the feeling, but don't get the identity, right? So
Right.
really know your own worth and your own value and that you're more than enough, right? And then secondly, do the work for yourself to be the best version of you. Make yourself a priority in being who you need to be first in the relationship as a woman of God, first and foremost. And as you would show up as a wife, like be the best version of yourself one day at a time. And then thirdly, now we start getting to the communication. Make sure you're honest. Make sure you get yourself into a space where he's in a space to receive, right? Because if you're just expressing, you're invented telling him what his cousins is doing and what you're doing at the strip club and what your parents say, and it's an attacking energy, like the wall is going to be put up and he's going to shut you out. So you just want to first know your own worth. Second, do your own work. And third, create spaces to have honest conversation and be prepared for it to be really hard, right? Be really challenging. Be okay with hard. Be okay with challenge, right? That's part of growth. That's part of us getting to the same page, come to some level of respect and agreement. But first is you do some work, because if your heart is broken and you got resentment and you feeling some type of way, you're going to bring that to the conversation. So make sure you know your worth. Secondly, do your work. And then thirdly, have a safe space to have honest conversation.
I think that's such good feedback, Coach Crump. I remember when we interviewed a
Was
while.
that helpful? I want to. Was that
It
helpful?
is. I have a problem putting boundaries because I have a problem trying not to tick someone someone's nerves, and so I kind of just eat a lot of that stuff up, and I kind of just take it and just, big chested, like I'm from Chicago, I'm tough, I got it, it's just,
Mm.
it
This is
it
a this.
eventually does break you down. And so I have been trying to spend this whole summer, he was like, we were like separated for like 3 months. He was in Singapore and
Mm.
I was, in Florida, in our house. And I've been trying to just work on inner me. I found this Harley Initiated Great podcast that, lit up a lot of stuff for me and changed a lot of
Mm.
my theories and a lot of my mentality and thinking, and trying to change my approach to things a lot. But I'm just looking for a safe space. That's all.
How long you guys been married, by the way?
We're going on 4 years in May. May. 6 years together total.
Okay. Man,
So we're in it. We love each other. We just don't know how to communicate with each other. We don't know, we're two firecrackers. We're two. In order for me to get his attention, I have to raise my voice because that's what
No,
he's
you
used
don't.
to apparently. Like,
No, you don't. And those narratives, those dysfunction narratives or defeating narratives, you got to stop saying them. There's so much power in words. So stop saying, that's the only way I can get his attention. You're a powerful woman of God. You have multiple abilities to get his attention. You just have to really know, okay, discerning timing, tone, technique, again, making sure you're good with yourself and your humanity. And then making sure I'm doing my best to be the best version of myself in general, which includes being a woman of God, which includes being a wife, which includes being a mother, right? And then not being afraid of conflict, challenge, like address it honestly and work from there. You know what I mean? Like that's the starting point.
okay.
I think that's phenomenal. That reminds me, we had a conversation a while ago with Judge Toller, the very first one we had. I actually really would recommend you go watch that video too. It was a powerful video. We talked about conflict in marriage because she talked about she had a very bad turmoil in her marriage. I think they were like, she said she couldn't stand her husband for up to, I think it was like 5 years.
Yeah.
It was bad in the household every day. And she would come to her mom. Her mom was one of her biggest mentors at that point. And her mom asked her, she said, look, she was complaining about all the things that was going on. And her mom, and she wouldn't want to necessarily change, what she had going on because she felt like she was right about a lot of the things that he was doing. And in some ways she was right. And her mom asked her, look, do you want to be right or do you want to be married?
Right.
And it was interesting because she said that was a mindset shift for her at that moment, because what ended up happening was her mom encouraged her that whether or not you're right about the situation, what you need to do is, again, what Coach Crump said, evolve into the best version of yourself and be the image of what he should be moving towards to inspire change in him. So change you to inspire change in your partner, because you can only control you at the end of the day.
Right. Right.
And the reality of it is, if his actions don't change, it's going to be very evident, especially if you continue to grow. But bringing yourself down to his level and continuing to wallow in dysfunction is not going to be good for you or his health at all. But I think that feedback was incredible, Coach Crump. And again, if this proceeds and you really need somebody to really get deep and talk to, please keep us up to date and abreast at info@hardlyinitiated.com, and we'll try to see if we could, get some resources to you the best way possible. But please let us know as this progresses and updates so we can stay in touch with your
I
story.
will. I definitely will. I'm not giving up on my marriage yet. I'm here. I sat with him in the dark when I found everything out. I could have up and left like I told him. And I chose to sit with him in love in his dark space with him because, like I told him, I don't want to be like your parents. And I definitely don't want to be like my parents. I want to be different. I want to break these generational curses. Like, I want to be a family. Like, we've both never really had that. So it's, we're starting from scratch, what we believe in, what we thought, what we think is right, So you guys
Yeah.
have definitely shined a lot of light on my heart, like my couple of hit in the chest, like, oh, but yeah, I definitely, this has been my number one source for changing my mind, changing my heart, and, moving
We
forward.
love that. Let's get
I
it.
love to hear
He got
that.
a real one. He
Yeah,
got a
well,
real
look,
one.
much love to you,
Fresh, you
Emily.
guys.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got on here. You came and chopped it up with us today. Okay.
Facts.
Have a good one.
Good night. Good
Yes.
night.
Blessings.
I love that. I love that.
Man, yes, I do too. We actually got one more brother that we got another brother in here I want to bring up.
And then we got a couple super chats.
Yes.
So good.
That we're gonna chop to as well. We got my brother here, Raymond Smith, that we got here on the stage. Raymond, what's up with you, brother?
Hey man, how y'all doing, man? Just want to
We
say,
are
good to see you,
blessed.
man.
Good to see you, Raymond.
man, good to see y'all, man. I thank you guys for this resource. 26 years old here, man. Been listening to the podcast, really going through that growth, man. You know, Ryan and you guys have, especially
First of all,
you,
they don't even know my damn name.
Tashawn.
Hey, no, you're right.
Look, I'm a little nervous right now, Tashawn. I know you always say, Tashawn, my co-host Ryan Catches here.
There you go.
I got it. Yeah, I got it, man. I think my question is, man, 26.
Hold on, wait, slow it down, because you did give me your age. What's your location as well, bro? Where you located?
Pensacola, Florida.
That's what's up.
Shout out to Florida.
Florida been heavy in these past
heavy.
couple days, man.
That's what Florida's about, man. Shout out, man. Shout out to Marion County. Shout out to Ocklawaha. Shout out to Ocala, Florida, man. That's where I'm from.
Absolutely dope. Yeah. So now go into your question now, Raymond.
Yeah, man. A little bit of background about me. Got my degree in psychology right now. Currently working in technology and sales. Making good money, man. Making around $80,000 a year right now, fresh out of 3 years removed from college. But I have I got a girl I met in college, and she was the first time me practicing monogamy, and actually I want marriage. And I think being sexual has been a big problem for me, like being an athlete in college and then going through them stages where I had a little popularity on campus, and then now I met the girl of my dreams. I'm talking about she bad, she fine, she's on her square, she's getting her own money, and we live in a luxury apartment here in Pensacola. And I just want to, man, have some advice, whether I should just go cold turkey, go abstinent, or how it is. Like I'm in the world, I'm a Christian as well. I wish I would have waited into marriage, but it's like I already been exposed to too much.
You didn't taste that fruit. So what's so now you trying to figure out what you trying to figure out now? I mean, because you in it now. What's your question?
Yeah, man, I just wanted some advice from Tashawn and Ryan, man. Just because you guys I know you guys have been through it. I don't know when you had that wake up call or what age you wanted to go on your journey for growth. And I've been using you guys as a resource to kind of navigate my way through.
Okay, so you know what? I get it. General advice. So here's my question to you. Is this young lady, how long y'all been rocking, by the way?
Yeah, we've been rocking since college, like 4 or 5 years now.
4 or 5 years. So this the one that you about to take you about to make that investment right here.
I'm already invested. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm already invested, man.
That's big.
Man, congratulations. Huge. Well, let me, because I can see ultimately you say you're a man of God, right?
Correct. Grew up in the church, sung in the choir.
Yeah. So you in the world, but you're not of the world.
Right.
And now as a man, right, you got to start living your code, regardless of what the world is doing. You know what I'm saying? So you have to start setting your own standards about this is who I am, period. Like you got to have that energy. So being a man of God, having your own standards, how would you like, separate what everybody else think? If you was telling your son, prepare for marriage, you want him out in the streets, getting litty in the city, or you want him shut down, locked in, holding it down, keeping yourself together, preparing yourself for a beautiful and incredible family that's part of your legacy?
Yeah, I think the growth and the journey I'm on is like an unpopular opinion at my age, trying to find my tribe, trying to find the young men who are on the same journey as me, who, experienced a lot, because I experienced a lot at an early age. And now I'm at a time where I just really want to focus on building my business, creating financial freedom for my family. And I'm doing that as well. But I feel like that thought of sex, knowing that I've been exposed to so much, have been kind of hindering me. Right.
Man, first of all, me and this brother, we going through it together. I know. we having a lot of the same battles. I know exactly what's going on.
And then with those experiences, you put those expectations. I put those expectations on my girl as well, since I experienced so much.
Yeah. And
so now I'm trying to go cold turkey and trying to really, really just focus on my business. And I can't get rid of the thoughts of what I've already experienced, because it's like I tasted the fruit already.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't be trying to have her do what Tisha did back in the day, because it get real toxic. Let me ask you this though, because I might be kind of putting you on the spot here, but it's a real question. I talked about some of my struggles with this. Have you ever successfully been monogamous in the past? Like, meaning, have you ever put yourself in a position where you ain't have no backups, no side chicks, like know nothing, and you've been able to successfully, truly be disciplined in one woman ever? Has that ever been something that you've been able to pull off?
I haven't, man, just to completely be honest, because like every time it's like I have a flirting personality. It's like I'm not trying to, but I am. And like and so I love women. I think women are great. Everybody should have a strong woman by their side. So man, I just love women so much, man. But at the same time, I already have a woman who's the woman of my dreams already. Right. So I think
it's funny because, and I'm sorry to cut you off, brother, because he reminds me of myself. Because
first off, Tyshawn just said that we was having a walk about 3 days ago. Talked about having to not just coming to the realization that he has to change the way he interacts with women.
Oh
no, absolutely, and it's an adjustment, because it's really more like the phase. Because even going more like the phase of like from a manhood perspective, he's going from like that warrior phase to like his king phase.
Mm-hmm.
And like while you transitioning, it's a lot that in that transition of happening. The warrior phase is where you just want to conquer, right? Like you just literally looking to conquer everything around you, and including the women that may have been a part of that as well. Like you're not looking to build anything about that. It's all conquer for your own ego, your own ambitions. Whereas the king phase, where now you're looking to actually build, you in your empire mode. And the thing about it is, when you going from the warrior to the king, you're not having to shed and to prune in that process. You're now having to evolve your mindset, change your values, change your habits, change your patterns, block Tisha. You know what I'm saying? Do all of that and get yourself cleaned and prepped and prepared to now take on this discipline of marriage, like this discipline, because that's what you're speaking on now. So it really is you now having to become a new person. And if the young lady, if you've thoroughly made the decision in picking a good young lady, it's not really about her. It's just about you. Because it's going to be up to you to cultivate her, to pour into her, to do all those things. And if she's thorough, she's going to, give you everything back double time. So it's really on you, on making sure you at where you need to be, and just being real with yourself. Where do you feel like you are in, be having an honest moment of saying like where you are, in as a man in preparation of that next level.
And I think you're doing it, man. You're doing a great job of showing up and being honest, making yourself vulnerable on this call, and you're in a great space. I want to say that to you. The second thing I say to you is accountability is the only way to guarantee results. So let's say you want whatever lifestyle you want, because we have hopes and dreams and goals, but we are our habits. Right. So you got to develop new habits by holding yourself accountable. Right. So what I encourage you to do is find a brother, initiated man who's married, start to get around those men, hang out with those men, work out, pray, do Bible study, join group calls, like events, go to men empowerment events, like get with men who are about what you're trying to be about. You can't. And you young and thugging, so you still clubbing, right? But you got to find a way to start now getting yourself around people who like. One thing about Tyshawn, what they're not saying, these guys are strategically aligned themselves with men who are about 10, 15, 7, 8 years older than them.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you own what you own, or you own your grown man skis all the way, bro, you got to talk to men who are not only in the space, but they're in the space and they're battling and they're managing successfully. And you want to learn those habits that they have by helping them, by bringing yourself into their world, by holding yourself accountable to theirs. You know what I mean? And so you got to initiate that. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Thank you for that, man. It's just a lot of things that, men don't talk about. Sometimes women can be the problem, but sometimes men can self-sabotage a good thing. Right. And it's things that we're dealing with internally that, the women aren't necessarily aware of, that you're fighting these battles yourself. Yeah. Right. And so I'm kind of self-sabotaging in a way, but that's why I got to this podcast. I'm growing, I'm learning. So
yeah. And we're going to do something special for all you guys listening. We're going to, for those of you at the end, we're going to talk about it a little bit more, but
yes,
we're going to give away some game. And so I'm going to have a place to give you some tools that you can actually help yourself in this relationship space that we're going to give away. So look out for that as well, bro.
Hey, thank you, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate y'all.
So first off, man, I'm very proud of you, Raymond. I'm
Yeah.
very bro. Like right now, you are on a really good track, bro. Like, and I mean, to be 20, what was it, 27 or 28?
26.
I'm 26.
Bro, to 26, learning the
Baby,
conversations that we having. I mean, you in here really developing like that man part of yourself, not just the making money part of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like that man part of yourself, which is I'm so impressed by that, for you to be very serious and be on here tuned in and locked in like that and to be watching this.
Yeah.
And I invite you and encourage you to stay in here with us, bro, to stay in here, because like the fog is going to start getting a little bit more clear every day with what you should be doing in that part of your life. And the decisions are going to instinctively just start to feel right. And you're going to do the right thing as you stay around the right people in the right community. Because like Crump said, that's what I do. That's like my cheat code to life, man. It's just to keep the right people around me at every single bit of time. I got a hell of a team for counsel.
Yeah.
I got a hell of a team for counsel on just about every decision of my life. And that to me has been tremendous in being able to, ensure, or hedge the risk. I can't guarantee success, but that's just about as close as I can get to it. And that's what you're doing right here, making sure you're making the right decision, because that woman you bring into your life is going to be the biggest decision that you make. So you're doing the right thing, brother. So much love to you. In fact, I definitely want you to stay in tune with us, man. I love seeing my brothers in here.
Fact.
Please, bro, keep us abreast on this one. That email we check, I promise you, we check every email. It's me and Ryan, nobody else. We got no assistants.
I got you.
Hey, that's why we late. That's why we, late on the email.
Right.
Like,
Y'all listen, we responded,
we
please, y'all. Please, we working on it. But no, for real though, bro, that info@harleyinitiate.com. Send us whatever you got, whatever you going through, whatever you dealing with. And I promise you, in some way, fashion, or form, we're gonna see that and do our best to take care of you. But stay tapped in with us, Raymond. Much love to you, brother. Okay?
Gotcha, man. Much love. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
man, it's kind of crazy hearing that he's 26, man. 26, young, man. 26. Let me see what was I doing at 26?
Don't try it, Ryan. Don't do that.
Nothing like this.
Yeah, nothing like that.
Why are you acting like you're going way back in time?
I mean, I'm 35.
Bro, that's almost 10 years ago, bro.
Yeah,
what you talking about?
That's a minute ago.
People forgetting that, bro. People think I'm older than Ryan.
They do.
Like, because this the bald head.
It's the ball.
That bald head, you automatically start at 32 years old.
Yeah.
That's why you got to count your blessings, man. That's why when I look in the mirror, I'm like, man. Yeah, blessed, man. No, when I was 26, man, I was just getting out of a lot of stuff. I was just quitting my corporate situation and going in on my own for the most part. But I was 25, like watching World Star every day, getting off of work, putting what I say, getting towed back, just hitting a blunt until you pass out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like at 26, I was a knucklehead. Yeah. So to even see somebody at 26 investing in themselves personally, investing into a foundational relationship, the most important relationship, like who you gonna potentially marry and be with for the rest of your life, is really mind blowing. It's really a blessing.
Yeah. I love that.
It's really a blessing because you can get to the point where you can always return, but you can get to the point where you don't cause so much momentum going into the wrong direction that it makes it really difficult to reel yourself in and get yourself right. So for this brother to be 26 and getting it popping, that's pretty lit.
Congrats to you guys for creating the space too.
Oh yeah,
man. Honestly, I love seeing our brothers, man, and our people. You notice, look, some folks can't have an event because they don't even want to show you the type of folks that's watching their content. I'll tell you that much.
Right.
But we got some amazing people part of this here.
And I see them in the chat too, man. Shout out to the chat.
Yo,
man.
I would hang with a lot of our initiates. Like, y'all are great people. Like, we have, and when I say that, I mean levels of success, experience, like the like level of ambition, character, and if your character ain't there, at least where they striving to be, right? Yeah. Like they got the ambition to want to be better, which is so beautiful, man. And I appreciate that. I really want to get back to the conversation, but we got a couple more people that I really do want to take care of real quick. So we're gonna bring our last few people on here so we can get back to the conversation.
You gonna bring Leah back?
I got wait, Leah's back.
She's back, baby.
Leah's back. What up with you, Leah?
Let me tell you,
how you guys doing?
Listen, I don't. First off, you. Oh my goodness,
she's
just looking glowing.
She's glowing.
I'm sorry, I just came from work, so I'm probably a little glistening.
No, we dig it, but I love
Mm.
that you continue to call in.
I,
Like, this is
I
very
do like to
special.
see the progression
Me
of our
too.
initiates
This is
and the catch up. I
Yeah.
do love to see that. For people who don't know you, never been exposed to you, can you please tell us your age, your location, and let's get into your comment or your question?
Yes, I'm 30 years old. I live in Washington State, and I have more of a comment today because I was previously married, and one of the biggest reasons why my marriage failed was due to the sex piece, right? So, the guy that I was married to, he constantly would express obviously wanting to have more sex, but from the feminine perspective, because there's a lot of male energy right now between the three of us, I want to provide some extra context. Like, for me, it really came down to feeling like I was being emotionally neglected. He was being like, there was financial infidelity that I found out about that he wasn't being honest about. And then it was also like, I'm a transparent communicator. So I'm always like, look, this is where I am. I need to know where you're at with things. And I would open up conversation and try to create a safe space for dialogue with him. And he would shut down every single time. And that doesn't work for me because I'm like, look, you didn't do this prior to our marriage. And now that we're newly married, it's going to be very short-lived if we don't get this together. And I think it's kind of like Raymond said, he was a little bit into the self-sabotage piece, where he just let his pride hold him back. Like, he was not educating me on like the vision for our future or anything. Like, everything just stalled, no communication whatsoever. And on my part, it was not for lack of desire. It was just like my emotions were so heavily affected because I was giving, but not being poured back into. So it made me just lack the motivation to connect with him sexually. And like Coach Crump was saying, I didn't want to be on the duty booty lifestyle. So it just got to the point where it was like maybe once a month, twice a month, if that. But then it just was a slow decline to where it was just non-existent. And it was hurtful for me as much as it was for him. But I'm like, I can't fix your side of the problem. I'm doing personal development. I'm doing everything I can do to try to, bring books in, talk to our pastors, get around other couples, all these different things that I'm trying to help position us so we can have a successful marriage. But if you're not buying into that too, that's what made me want to tap out. And I just got to the point where I was so tired of carrying everything alone. And I'm 30, I'm fine, and I ain't finna be out here in a miserable marriage. So it was a hard decision to make, but I feel like if you're at a place in your relationship where you're able to recover from that, just by both parties coming together and having like a mutual meeting of the minds, do that if you can. Because obviously I didn't get married to get divorced, but here I am.
A couple questions for context. How old, you said you're 30. How old is your ex?
He's also 30. How
long were you married?
We were only married for a year and a half, and we were together for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very short-lived.
Yeah. I wish I could say that I was a champion of success in this area, but as I confessed on Hard Initiated, I struggled, and I see all the Me Too energy in the chat. All the
That's
women.
why I said I gotta speak up for the women, because I know this is something to talk about publicly, but this is real.
And let me be honest, you're speaking up for my wife as well. This was a huge pain point for her, and as painful. The reality is, no matter what man you deal with, this is going to be a mountain that's going to be coming up in the marriage. And the grace to grow, and how to wait with grace, and how to support and intervene and pray and get, the right counsel and the right encouragement. That's so strategic and customized to everybody's situation. Right. But I know from my wife, she was just saying how, you're a woman of God, right?
Correct. Absolutely.
And her thing was like, when God comfort her, and she used, I think, Rebecca, talking about like God made a promise, but it took 13 years. But they was married, they was together. But it's like, we both heard that God has a promise over our life, but it's been 13 years and I'm old and I'm past my clock and I don't know if I can have a baby. So go have her. And have a little situation on the side, which created a whole nother situation. And God still honored his promises. Yeah. I think what we don't talk enough about in marriage and building something special under God's grace under the covenant it takes time.
Yeah.
You know, one of my mentors, ET, will always say it takes 21 years to be 21 years old. Now, you know, when you was younger, you know, maybe it's you, but when you was younger, you was like, I'm 15 and a half. Oh, I'm almost about to be 16. Like
Right.
you never really just accept your age and stage. You always was like, I want to be somewhere where I'm not. Whereas when you get older, you like try to dress the years down a bit. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's important to just accept certain realities that if we're going to build something that's going to last 100 years and our children's going to benefit, it's going to take a lot of time. And what I want to just encourage you is he didn't neglect you. I don't know enough. So let me say that. My experience was I neglected my wife in that area of her emotional need, and I loved her dearly. And I had a deep desire to meet it.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think that it was for lack of desire. Again, I think it was a lot of self-sabotage, and he was struggling heavily with the pride issue. And instead of being transparent with me about that, it was just eating away at him from the inside out. And because he wasn't being vocal, he wasn't willing to put himself in a space to get the help that he needed. He wasn't going to the therapy. You are on my insurance, dude. I'm calling, I'm setting up all the things. All you have to do is show up. And for me, if you're not even willing to do that piece, that tells me that there's a strong incompatibility here that I was too late in discovering. So that's how I felt when I was in the midst of it all. But I didn't want to give up. I just knew that I was very tired, and it was bringing things out of me that I was not proud of. Because I'm like, there's no reason why I feel like I should be tracking you all the time, or like, are you really going to work? You know, there's not money coming in, or you're borrowing money from friends, all kinds of stuff, and not telling me about it, like big dollars. And then people chasing him down looking for money. And I'm like, what is all this? You bringing drama to my life, and I don't feel safe in this space anymore. So it created such a huge disconnect to where I would not have left him and divorced him had he just been honest and open, because I would have been like, okay, how do we figure this out? I know you messed up here. I know XYZ happened, but let's figure it out. Let's be solution oriented and move forward, instead of getting to a place where, you know, now we lost our marriage. But that's, you know, hindsight being 2020, and it is what it is now. It's over. But yeah, that's just kind of what I had to share from a feminine perspective to, you know, help other ladies and men, especially, to know, like, y'all got to open up and we're going to be able to do this, because the sex wants to be had by the women too. Please believe.
Yeah.
No, that's a fact. And listen, that's what we're going to get to in the rest of here. We got to let these fellas know these 4 reasons so they can get back stroking. All right. We got to get back to it. But listen, I appreciate you so much for coming back up here. Okay.
Most of. Love
Be
y'all.
blessed, Leah.
For sure.
All right. And listen,
She's dope.
This is the last person I want to take, because we got to get back to this. But this is an anonymous caller. And listen, my anonymous callers, I know is you. They anonymous for a reason, so we got to take care of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring this last person up here. Are you still here on the call with us?
Yes, I am.
Awesome,
wow.
Awesome. So look, we only gonna have a voice. You don't got to tell me your name. Obviously, I want you to stay anonymous, but we're gonna take care of you. But just give me some context. Give me a location, and we can go straight into your question.
I'm in Bermuda, and I'm almost 60. I'm 59. 5 weeks, I'll be 60. And this is my 3rd marriage. And this one is like the worst marriage, but I love this man the most. It's like ridiculous. And we were together for 10 years, and then we got married. Been married for 4. And so it's been like kid dynamics, you know, like blended family. They never did accept me. But what I really want to ask the panelists is, he said that he was married to 6 people, but 1 person. And I'm having that problem because I'm always evolving, and I've had a business. He's helped me through the business, you know, and my child now is very successful at 23. And he always told me, you bring yours up and I'll bring up mine. And now his kids are cutting up like fools. So like, I think it's difficult for him to look at the fruits of my labor when you already told me keep my hands off of yours. So now he left in October. He left. And I kind of had some inclination because, like, the sex dwindles off and it was dynamic at first, even though we never lived in one house. So understanding what you say about being in one house,
Mm,
but not sleeping in the same room because we never lived in one house. It was just, I mean, where we live is so expensive for 5 bedrooms in one
mhm,
house. But when we got together, it was always dynamic. And then when we started to actually um, cohabitate, then it was um, distant.
Mm.
And I just found that because he works out in the public eye or whatever, every time I would start to evolve, he would be telling me, "Oh, I'm very happy for you," but the actions didn't line up. Like,
well,
Wow.
I don't understand what's going on right now. And, divorce, but so many issues in the past is like, if you want to walk out, I can't take the abandonment issues. So if he laughed like 1:30 in the morning, just laughed. So
And
I'm
did you
like,
have, by the way, did you have a particular question that you wanted Coach Crump to dive in?
yeah, like, how do you communicate with somebody who they don't want to communicate with you? It's like, I did them wrong, but I didn't do him any wrong. He left. So as I'm evolving, how am I supposed to not evolve just because they feel insecure about it? So how did you deal with that? With,
Hmm.
like you said, you was with one woman and she was 6 people. One person, but six. How did you say it earlier? You
Yeah.
said
first of all, I know you're anonymous, but St. George is a Somerset. Let me just say that first.
St. George's. Burp.
No way, boy. Nah, but
Hey, bye. Don the Red. Yeah.
shout out, yeah, shout
So,
out.
do you have anywhere that, like in Bermuda, we can contact you for counseling
Hold on,
or something?
hold on, wait. I want him to answer the question first. So let's first let him dive into answering that question.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
What communication just sometimes from a woman's perspective, and I'm glad the young lady who was your fan favorite, who was sharing before her call,
Leah.
Leah.
Yeah.
Women, I mean, that thing almost comes natural for them to just express themselves, like, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
communicate, like you're doing on the call. This type of stuff is just not natural for men to face women because it's a challenge of our own insecurities and validation, particularly if we haven't done the work. So it's not just your evolution, it's not just your versions. That's not what's
Mhm,
just happening. It's also he don't know what to do. He don't know what to say. But his pride, instead of saying, "Hey, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say," his pride gonna be like, "I'm out because I don't
But
want
I
to."
would never leave him behind. I would
I
never leave him behind.
so is not that you wouldn't do it is understand. What I'm trying to do is get a better understanding of what his battles is, right? So that
Mm,
you just kind of have a better understanding to pivot, to adjust, however
mhm,
it's necessary for you and your situation. But I wanted to just first bring awareness to that space, kind of what we talked about earlier.
mm,
But communication, how you may receive it, how you may approach it, be very prepared to do it different with him because he's struggling with his own personal pride. So your time, your tone, and your technique, right, is critical for him to even be receptive. Not because what you're saying is wrong, not because what you're saying is doesn't need to be met, because where he is. You talked about you growing, and my mentor and sidebar, it is always dangerous to evolve without your partner, like
mhm.
without your spouse. Me and and that's something I had to learn is make sure you always try to be your best to include your journey, even if it's working out, even if it's going for a walk, even if it's
I
listening to.
try, and he don't want to do it. He'll get a bike. I got a bike. He won't go riding. Oh, this time is too late. That time is too early. I'm like, what the heck can I have? Like, come on.
Mm, mm,
So what is that? What do you think when you gotta at that point, because it's tricky, if you got a partner that is, I guess in some ways, if this is 100% true, assuming we just taking the little bit of information we have in this call as
I would
100%,
never lie.
that one person is evolving and the other person is refusing to evolve, How do you handle that situation?
But he would tell me something like one night, you're always striving to do better, but I'm a person that I'm okay how I am, as I never thought I would be where I am today. And I'm like, is this it for you?
Pretty much.
Hold
No,
on, hold
no,
on,
I
hold on,
get
hold
it.
on. What did she just say? So when he said that, what did you say?
Is this it to you? Is this it?
I said, is this it for you? Like, we have a lot more to grow and do. Like, you
Mm,
can't just stay here, like, in this spot. We're only 60.
okay.
And shout out to her saying we only 60. I like
Yeah,
that. We
yeah.
only 60.
But what I want you to go back over that situation again. From what I heard is
Mhm.
you dismissed where I was. So it was like he had opened up to you to be honest about his perspective, about his feeling. He acknowledged your growth and your development, and he said that's amazing. But where he said where you said he said
Mm-hmm.
where
Mm-hmm.
I am,
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay where I'm at, and that was an opportunity. We call it OTG, opportunity to grow. That was a space for you to connect to where he was at the moment, not to talk about is this it, because that comes off as condemning his statement that something's
Mm-hmm.
wrong with where he feel he just is. Not to say you don't have saying that this is it, this is all you said he said, because I didn't even see myself achieving all the things that I've achieved, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's in a space where he's very grateful, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you can see content as probably misinterpreted for being grateful that God had even allowed him to even have the things, because he's still probably struggling that he didn't feel like he was good enough or worthy enough to even have what he had. And then when he finally opened and expressed that to you, you shut it down. So he's like,
I'm
you know
mercy.
what? I'm not even gonna say nothing. I'm not even
Thank
gonna.
you.
It takes a lot for a man to create windows for women, because we are vastly inadequate in these spaces in comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that was some
Wow.
really,
Wow.
really good. Then that's
That's
so
deep.
This
that's
is the best platform ever. Honestly, it is the best platform ever. You guys don't give up. Trust me, don't give up.
Wow.
First of all, thank you so much. All the way from Bermuda. I send you love
like
all the way
that.
on your side. Thank you for tuning into us, okay?
International.
You know, my
And
wife.
he knows, I mean, your panelists knows our island is small. And if this should ever get out, they'll know my voice and all of that type of jazz. But I'm not afraid.
Well, look, much love to you, okay? You have a blessed
She's
day.
fearless.
Yeah.
All right.
That was some deep game, because
No, that was.
because that was an opportunity.
That was right there.
That was an
What she
opportunity.
was begging for,
Yeah.
and she shot it down. You know what I mean? And that happens all the time because it's so subtle. Because men don't do like a deep conversation that's going to be 10 minutes and an hour. They're going to give you this window.
That's so
Exactly.
true.
Boom.
Okay.
Your response to that window, I'm going to give you like a little alley-oop. Bro, if you take that ball and spike it back in my face, done.
Oh my God.
I'm mentally checked out for another year on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy.
So
So
help
now
us
she
out.
now she like, what's now what? Not like, bro, all of that type of energy. I'm not gonna go. I'm not safe. It's not a safe space for me to go there with you.
So give us some deep game,
Man,
Coach
that's a
Crump,
good
because we
one.
got a super chat from Anissa Johnson, which is right on par, right? She says, how do you learn the skill to listen intimately? She struggles with this. How do you learn? So that was an opportunity we just identified, or you helped us identify in retrospect.
So
Hindsight.
women messing up on this stuff just like the
Right,
fellas
right.
do sometimes.
So
Yeah,
how
facts,
do
bro.
you do it?
Effective communication is a very dynamic, complex, and intricate skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, they may mess up on it in different ways of missing, undervaluing our vulnerability in that way, because vulnerability to them might come so easy. If we get vulnerable, they might undervalue that moment. Because it comes so easy to them, they don't realize that, oh, whoa, this was a moment. Like the horn didn't go off.
Yeah.
And they might just kind of communicate just as if it was any regular thing that was said, and to be dismissive.
Yeah.
You know, again, do anything that, again,
when he
does
was
not
actually
create
being very
a safe
open,
space.
and he was being vulnerable, and he was being honest.
Right.
All the things you're asking, He said it in so few words, sitting on the couch.
But you didn't like it.
But you didn't like his response, so you attacked him, and now it's like, bet I'm never doing that.
And it could be unintentional. Right?
Yeah, but
the impact of that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, with a man, it
doesn't even matter.
It takes so much to even for me to even let you in like that, because I'm not a dog in that space, bro. Like we would easily talk about LeBron and Mike, because we know ball, right? We don't know intimate listening communication skills interpersonally with a woman that we're deeply committed to. You don't even know that.
Right.
And you held the platform. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You would literally have to ask a woman, okay, baby, what does that look like for you? What do you want from me? What, can you give me an example? Like, you're going to be 40, 50 years old still if you're in a space to even be trained. Like, you have to ask those questions. So he's not even in the space to be trained, but he's going to open up a window to say, I'm going to open up my heart to see. So she asked the question, the super chat, what was her question was?
It was, so how do you, I got to go back to it, but it was pretty much, how do you practice? Like, how do you learn how to listen intimately?
Approach a man with the posture to see his heart and not to express your thoughts.
Say that one more time. Say that one more time. We got to hit it again.
Approach a man with the posture to see his heart and not to express your thoughts. Because remember, listening is way more than the words that he's saying.
Man, especially with men. Because he probably not going to say a lot of words.
Nope. So you have to be locked in to be like, you know what I mean? And I tell people, there's a training at therapeutic crisis intervention where we call a non-threatening stance. Women, if you really want to unlock a man too, like in your listening, don't stand over him. Don't stand side to side and rub his back. Breathe calmly, nod, giving confirming gestures with your face and your body language. But standing over him, like, what? What's wrong with you?
Arms crossed.
Bro, all that inner sad, all the sass energy, like, sit down, sit right next to him, rub that back. And when he expressed whatever he expressed, however words that comes out, thank you. Now I want to make sure I heard what you said.
Confirmation.
I heard you say ABC, XYZ. And how does that make you feel, babe? Is there anything I can do to help or support you? You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't just, you can't be like, what you got anything to say? Like, don't even face me. Come side to side.
Oh, I like that. I ain't never had that.
Yeah,
that's different.
That's different.
When my wife,
it's a team.
It's a book called The Anatomy of Peace, and it's a Arbiter Institute series of leadership and self-deception, but it talks about the war and peace of the heart. And I train people on this in staff and in the corporate world, but also in personal development, right? I trained my wife on it one time, and I remember one time, but when you broke and got kids, bruh, like I'm just on. I'm wired. I'm washing dishes hot. I'm just irritated that the kids should have washed the dishes. I'm in an apartment. I'm just hot just to be hot because it's Tuesday. But I had, I'm having a moment, right? I'm really not an angry guy. I'm calm, cool, collected, but just frustrated, bro. Just frustrated. I'm broke, living check to check. Like, I've been married for years, kids. My wife comes while I'm washing the dishes. She hears my response and my energy and how I'm making statements. So she's like, he on one. My wife knows when I'm on one. She comes next to me and she kind of slightly gets behind me, but she kind of grazes me. But she's getting her feminine energy and she's rubbing my back while she's talking to me, and she's looking up to me. And she's tilted her head and she's looking up and she's talking. And then we laugh. I don't know why we laugh. We talk about something, but we laugh all the time. Me and my wife, we joke nonstop. So we laugh. And she said, I want you with my peace. I said, girl, get away from me. Right? Because I teach how to win people with your peace, with your own heart.
Got it.
So she understood non-threatening stance, tone, time, and temperament, confirming gestures. You know what I mean? These things help people be felt and seen and heard, which allows them. So when you do that, whenever you have an exchange with your woman or your woman with your man, where they feel seen and heard. What they're really saying is, you see my humanity and you are accepting me.
Right.
Because a man is always posturing and performing to get validation, affirmation, and confirmation. And we really don't want to do it with our woman. But we feel like, if, you know what I'm saying? That's why we don't talk about our sex performance, talk about our money we make, talk like that matters to us. What a woman says about that,
Yeah,
it really matters to a man.
it does.
Like, how was it? You like that girl? Like, and her response really whereas a woman ain't really on every time I have sex, how did I do? You know what I'm saying? You like how I paid that bill, boy? Like, a woman just ain't really, they got a different, you get what I'm saying? And so understanding these things, not saying there's something wrong with the person because they're different and now we got different dynamics, but accepting them and then really having these confirming gestures and listening skills that says, I see you and I accept you just the way you are. It's like, I can tell you some, I could be honest with you. I could tell you some stuff.
See, now that's like the first steps of really starting to cultivate that safe space.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's funny. People be just saying, you got to make a safe space. You got to make a safe space. But see, that's some of the tactical game into actually how to see and create that safe space in real life. Y'all hearing how it's actually done on a ground level. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the soldiers in training, hold your gun like this right there, 10 and 2. That's tactical game on how to go about cultivating this safe space. Because ladies, y'all have a very, very big part of the how safe that space is. The young lady I'm dating right now, this is, you know, the safest space that I have, you know, ever been a part of. And the reality of it is, you know, when I tell you, she has done things to make me feel how I have. I've never been as vulnerable with a woman ever. Like, it's not even close. And big shout outs to her, you know, for doing that, because, you know, she has done. And when I'm hearing some of the things that I'm like, wow, because I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what the things are that makes me feel this way.
I know.
I just know I can talk now.
Facts.
You know what? This has been something I've been wanting to tell you.
Yeah.
But hearing that's dope. So there was no better way to answer that question. Great way to attack that answer, that question for Anissa.
And let's be very practical. Bro, men are literally going broke. Think about every class and every race and every status of men have gone to a strip club.
Yeah.
And they have cashed out way more than they was prepared to give. They actually, in a lot of cases, not all, but in most cases, they got no sex. They got teased. They got seen by a woman with a full feminine energy. And they were willing to a complete stranger that they met for the first time to not have a relationship, not have a commitment, and not have sex and blow their entire monthly budget just to be seen. And all she did in less than 10 minutes is make him feel seen.
Wow. You know, that actually is true. I know a couple dancers that, and I know that sounds crazy. That's a crazy way to start that. But when I talk to them, they say it's so funny because most of the guys that they really deal with on a ground level, they like, yo, like most of these guys, they literally just want me to talk to them. Like, I do more talking to these guys and listening to these guys than dancing in most cases. Hey, baby, what's up? How you feel? Especially the regulars.
Yeah.
They coming in at, like, unfortunately, the dancers are the damn therapists.
Bro, there are hundreds of women. I can speak for Atlanta because I know men who are getting thousands of dollars because they cuddle with a man.
Oh my God, that is sad.
But
that's sad.
But it's going back to, so we talk about, so if you got a woman that you wouldn't even, that you married to or you connected to, that you're not even cuddling with.
Oh man.
And this guy's willing to go broke in one night to cuddle. Why? He's being seen, he's being felt, he's being heard. Like, that's how serious it is. Like, these are vibrant industries I'm talking about. This is happening every single night. This is every level of man. So it's not rocket science, and every woman can do it. But you got to ask yourself, what is going on with me?
Yeah.
To not even create a space where he feels really seen and heard, and be honest, like, you know what, babe? I'm scared. I'm lonely. You know how you got him? How you got him for real? When he makes statements like, I'm scared, I'm lonely, and I don't know what to do.
I've literally never told a woman any one of those three things ever.
Exactly.
Ever.
Only my wife. Only my wife. I'm scared, I'm lonely. And it took me 10 plus years to get there.
Yeah.
So when she was, so it's like when she was saying a year and a half, I'm like, bro, it takes a man in a marriage and a relationship a long time to develop these articulate emotional skill set and create a space with dealing with my own little boy monster. It takes a long time to get there, bro.
That's heavy. That's heavy, man. Great way to answer that, though. Did we have any other super chats that we needed to touch on, or was that one of the only ones before we get back into the message?
We got a couple of them. So real quick, shout out to Bold Gentleman 85, and shout out to Creole Butterfly for sending over those super chats. It looks like Sha-T going for the MVP. She sent over the super sticker.
Big
the super
shout out,
chat.
Sha-T.
She dropping a membership. Sha-T is always going crazy, so we appreciate the love. And then we got Yali who chimed in, of course, the beautiful Yali.
Yali.
She basically said, see Yali and Mamacitas, okay? So she's like, her parents ain't down for that. She's crazy. Her parents were married for 44 years. You see that? 44. They putting in work, man.
Come on.
They putting in work. But she said pretty much they don't even like leaving to go back home to DR to if they not together. So they not doing a separate bed thing.
Wow.
Which I get.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even feel comfortable if my woman was like wanting to sleep in separate beds.
And I think context matters to a lot. You mentioned a celebrity, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But like, I built my entire life with my wife. Like, we built everything out of the mud. Like, I met her at 18 years old. Like, everything I have, we built together.
That's beautiful
thing. So it's like, I don't even have a thought. I mean, my wife showed me how to write emails.
Wow.
Like, bro, like I had to, like,
the ghetto child.
Bro, I was young and thugging. Go get it by any means necessary, bro.
Right.
So like, when I look at my success now, it's funny because it's like, you have to give my wife half the credit. And when I love about her, she'll say the same about me. Like, my husband said this out, what I'm going to do and what I'm going to be 20 years ago. I've always spoke life into my wife. Always.
So what I want you to do, John, by the way, John, you are here.
We got somebody else on.
Well, what I want to do, John, please stay patient. I want to get you on here, brother, but I want to get these last two points from Coach Crump. And by the way, guys, stay to the end because Coach Crump is going to do something very special for everybody that stays and hangs in here just for the Harley Initiated family at the end of here. So please stay patient. We got 822 people here live hanging in here with us.
Shout out
to
you guys.
Stay patient.
And shout out to Jessa Green.
And please, everybody, please hit that great thumbs up in here because we going deep in here today. We going deep into this communication game, this safe space game here. We going into it. This is the tactical aspect we need in this relationship. Coach Crump breaking it down for us. So go ahead and hit that like button for us. And what I want to do now is we covered the first two that you talked about.
Yep.
Number one, okay, some of the top 4 reasons your wife is not having sex with you. The one, you got to silence that little boy, right? That was number 1. Number 2, what was number 2 for us?
Learn to listen.
You need to learn to listen. And that's what we've been covering this whole entire time here. And number 3 here, let's get to it.
Don't keep it 100.
Don't keep it 100.
Yeah. Don't keep it 100, man.
Context.
A lot of men that I mentor and coach, man, they put so much expectation on their wives to fulfill their manhood. Right. And I'm like, bro, that's so unhealthy. Like, your manhood, like, man, you know, she should be doing this and she should be doing that. And like, you know, they're not really expressing this to them, unfortunately, but the reality is they have this mental expectation, right? Because what frustration comes when you have unrealistic expectations with another person, right? And when you put all of your fulfillment in your worth and your manhood and your sex, like everything is based on the woman, like you're setting yourself up. Like, you need to have a healthy relationship with God. You need to have a healthy relationship with mature, initiated men. Like, they're going to balance you. Your wife is a third part of that. That's why when some guys, they don't have a relationship with God, they don't have a healthy relationship with initiated men, when their wife, and they put so much expectation and that's not being fulfilled, they go left. They're doing the most, they go side piece, because the wife don't even know how much expectation he has on her because it's in his head.
Yeah.
Because he's not effective at communication, or don't trust to communicate, don't feel safe to communicate, or don't know how to communicate. So, but the fact that he got that even expectation in his head is really what's creating the issue. You know what I mean? So the one time she's not having sex, or the one time she's not making a hot meal, or the one time she's not helping or supporting him, or she says something the wrong way, he puts so much on what she says and does that it affects his whole operating system.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, make sure you have a healthy, responsible, and fulfilling relationship with God. And make sure you have a healthy and responsible relationship with other mature, initiated men. Because not just men in general, because some men could be on some dodo stuff and be petty. You need to be with mature, responsible men.
Incredible. Incredible. Do not
keep it 100.
Keep it 100. And honestly, I mean, you broke that down so thoroughly that I mean, it's very clear what we got from that. And I mean, to be honest, that makes a lot of sense. And a lot of this is a bit interconnected, with what we were kind of, what we were communicating prior as well. So I'm seeing how these web of things all affect your relationship, and essentially how just these small things can.
But let me tell you how it relates to not having sex, though. My wife loved the fact that I had focus and determination and like locked in. Like that turned her on. Like, nobody want to be sitting around and you waiting on me and everything's based on me. Like, a woman don't even want all that pressure from a man to keep it a buck. A real woman wants a man to really be a man too, separate of being connected with me. I want you to be the man. I want you to be the head of this house. Yeah. I want you to be locked in with God. I want you to be going doing your thing. I want to cheer you on. So my wife met me. She knew. We had a great first date, and I knew, and I'm young, but I'm still like seeing like, okay, you can be the one. One time, Ryan, first thing I said to my wife, I want to be crystal clear. You're not in my top 5.
Wait, what?
After a phenomenal date with my girl in college, when I knew she was the one, the first thing I said to her, I want to be crystal clear. You're not in my top 5.
Well, okay.
That's I'm like, what?
Hold on.
Now, a lot of people are going to hear that and think, right? Because context matters. I'm talking about 5 women. I'm talking about 5 virtues. I was focused on school. I was focused on ball. I was focused on my faith. I was focused on my future. I was focused on my goals. If she was going to compromise on any level, my focus on that, we're not going to work.
Okay.
If you're going to call me and say, why you still training? If you was going to be in my way in any level, we're not going to work. But this is how I knew my wife was my wife. You know what she said? I said, I got to go put some shots up. She said, I'll rebound. I'm like, I got to go to the weight room. She's like, I'll spot you. Bro, confirmation.
Wow.
My wife never gave me that. You hooping again? You training? I'm trying to go pro. And a hooper's life is completely different from regular people's life. Like, is life, bro. It's a lifestyle. And I don't have time to entertain a woman at this. I'm broke. I'm a college kid. Like, I'm trying to get it. I'm the first in my generation. My family's a sharecroppers. They got no money. The only way I make it on the scholarship, like, I can't afford any distraction. Yeah. Even from a phenomenal, incredible woman. Can't afford it. But what I've learned, what I try to tell men, women love men who are honest, upfront, and have a strong sense of direction. It's actually very attractive.
Yeah. I like that. Top 5. Way to bring some context to that, because you almost lost everybody in the chat right now. They was like, oh my God, he's one of them.
Nah, they knew it was a hood. They knew it.
Listen, that's beautiful. I get it there. That's really good. Actually, take us home here to number 4, because I'm really excited about getting people right after this guy. We're gonna give y'all something special, but let's close it out here with number 4, because I know he's gonna go out with a bang here.
Run the sex and romance department of the relationship. Run it.
Run the sex and romance department.
Yep. Chief operating officer.
So we the CEOs of the sex.
Facts. And the romance.
Yeah,
that's the sauce. Right. So when my wife is a full grown woman, when you make love to a full grown woman, you do it all day. It's an all day affair. When I know it's time and I know I got to get in my bag, it starts in the morning with her chai tea latte, which cinnamon and sugar with foam, white foam, cream. You know what I'm saying? Like, it starts with, how you doing, baby? Are you okay? It starts with making the bed. It starts with supporting some, domestic duty around the house. It starts with filling up the cars with gas. You know what I'm saying? It starts with making sure the kids are straight. They never even text her. She don't even have to talk to them. And then it is checking in throughout the day. Love you, baby. Thinking about you. Send an emoji. Send a funny or sexual, reel. Let her know. Speak life over. Send a Bible verse. You know what I mean? Let her know she's been thinking about something, and let her know that I've already purchased it on Amazon. Let her know that she inspires me. I look forward to seeing her later tonight. Now that right there, them draws are coming off, bro.
Yeah.
I don't need
Slayer.
She gonna take them off.
See, it's interesting because
so we're talking about the sex. A woman needs to be romance, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's why you got to get with men who could give you some game. Like, bro, when I got to do her right, I make love to her all day. Like, she like intentional touches. You know what I mean?
I would say, that actually is a good game, because in today's culture, single men are not very romantic at scale, just like as a culture. We're not very romantic. So you really don't have to have a lot of romance involved to have sex in, the courting and dating phases. That's the reality of it. So when I'm hearing this, average. Average. So when I'm hearing this, it's interesting, because I think this is a very important game for a lot of young men, especially men like, for example, Raymond, that may have started off having, used to having sexual experiences a certain way.
Come on.
But then he might be in year 3, year 5, year 7 of his relationship. And it's not just because you cute and popping and a dope athlete that just kind of gets her aroused. It's now you making the bed and getting a damn chai latte. The kind of the rules have changed a little bit to what arouses her. Because I can imagine we probably gonna get aroused by things very differently as we evolve. Like, even me as a man. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But I want to go back and see again, because you don't have a code you live by. As a man of God, when a woman, that one woman is married to Tyshawn, if I'm your husband, when that woman's married to Ryan, or you married to Ryan, it's a whole nother. You married to Coach Crump, God. If I decide to bring in God's daughter into my inner sanctum, she gonna get love so differently.
Yeah.
Because my name is on it. Right? And so you gotta have your own standards when I can't say for when you do it. I don't know how you do it. But my wife, God's daughter, who he has bestowed upon me forever. Oh man, when I run the sexing department, it's different. I'm just gonna say it's different. I don't know if it's better. It's just different.
Honestly, that's a really good. I like that mindset. Like that mindset of like, this is like, it's like a Mercedes-Benz experience.
Yeah. It's the Coach Crump experience.
That means you gotta know. That means you gotta know what you're doing. You gotta be learning some new tricks. You know what I mean? You
see what his mind goes. See, no, you're the athletic type. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying you gotta be. If you're gonna run the show, You gotta
But
know
it's
some
your,
ins
it's
and
your
outs.
whatever the Ryan experience, whatever
Yeah.
when you decide to honor God's daughter, that needs to mean something to you. That needs to mean something to you, that when she talks about, hey, how does like a Ryan run a sex and romance department? Oh my God, I've never seen anything like it.
That's a good way to,
Right.
that makes it very easy for us to understand when you talk like that.
That's true.
That's true.
And because it's people running a store department
Yeah,
on deck. You're right.
They come in early.
Yeah.
They come in dressed. They're doing some notes. They're doing research. They're getting data.
They're giving everything.
They're doing
to it.
training.
Mhm.
They're seeing the competition. Bro, I want to be in the Husband Hall of Fame. So I talk to the local GOATs. I talk who's top of the game right now, who's number one in the church, who's number one in the community. So like I said, ET was one. I was like, bro, you number one right now. How do I learn? He said, well, when I was a speaker, traveler, entrepreneur, he was like, okay, I'm gonna show you some game. I said, give me some game. He was like, okay, if I got to do a trip for 6 days, I will iron my wife's clothes for 7, because I also got to iron for a day that when I come back, she don't have to worry about prepping because she's so used to having me around the house, helping her out. I was like, dang, he on a level that I gotta level up. But if you wanna, and I got my boy BK in Dallas, he'd be like, yo, I had to retire my wife from the gas station. She never touches the car. She never touched the gas can the rest of her life. Retire her from that. Dang.
What he bought a Tesla?
No, he did it. He served. But I'm just saying, being around men, I don't even have these ideas.
No. I don't even
have these ideas until I talk to men who are GOATs in the space. And I'm like, bro, for me as a man, it matters that I make the Husband Hall of Fame.
And them dudes probably like be disgusted with you. They see like, wait, your wife pump gas?
Right.
Oh my God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't even want to be around, because I know we got different standards, we got different expectations, we got different values, we got different virtues. So I'm just telling you, I want to make in my world the Husband Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Like that's a thing for me, because that matters to me, because I want my son to see it. I want my daughter to see it. I want them to come ask me questions. Dad, why did you serve her like that? Oh, there's a reason. Man, that's
the reason that's so powerful is because that truly is how we learn, man. We learn by reference.
Yeah.
By seeing, hearing, and understanding how other people are doing things and having success in it. And it's very easy for us to take that and adopt that and put into our life. And when you consider that as scale, we have an entire generation of people who saw just the worst versions of relationships.
Come on, bro.
And now have taken that and adopted those principles. In fact, we might have even built cultures around that and made it normal. Right. And talking about guys who are coming together to create a culture of like really stunting with your wife, like, and kind of like how you're doing those things. I mean, even I'm hoping the ladies doing the same thing. Like I'm like, because that's beautiful. Leveling up. It's almost like a mastermind for your marriage.
Yeah. And I just kind of take the culture that I come from. Like, we stunt where I'm from. So like when I get a whip, oh man, you gonna get a whip. You gonna get something off the lot. I'm from Florida. We doing the Cutlass 86 Supreme, Broham material, illegal tint. You know what I'm saying? Candy red apple paint with some chrome and some float. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna do a little different, man. I gotta have a whole experience inside the whip. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It gotta be an encounter. You know what I'm saying? So I brought when I hoop, I told my wife, I said, what time is it, baby? She said, showtime. I said, get your popcorn.
Get a popper.
It's gonna be a show when I play. Because I don't just work out and train to play.
Yeah.
I put on a show. When you're married, to me, we just ain't gonna be married.
I get it.
When you're raised by children, I'm your father, it's gonna be an experience. You're gonna want to bring all your friends around. They're gonna want to stay the night.
That's boss.
To be honest, man, and this is why we had to bring you on here to talk to the people, because the people need to hear this. Like, this conversations like this raises the bar, for men and women, for what they want their relationships to be like. Even for me, like, even just hearing things like this is like, it all just gets your mindset ready for what this is. Because some of our mindsets are just like, I'm about to settle down in this relationship. Some of our mindsets are, I'm about to go ahead and, find my life partner or soulmate, whatever the hell that means. But it's not a real mindset of how you're going to continuously improve, add value, improve the culture, make it better, set examples, raise the bar.
Bro,
and that's different.
Bro, it's bigger than us. Ryan, this is bigger than you. This is not even about Hardly Initiated. It's not even about y'all no more.
Facts.
It's not even about y'all no more, bro. And for you to not see that, it'll be negligent stewardship on your part. Like when I was in Bermuda, we had 9 kids coming home to our house after church. I had kids in the trunk.
Wow.
So when I've been doing, my daughter's in high school in Gwinnett County. She has friends that they went from calling me Jada's dad to dad. Right, bro. So here I am influencing across the country, influencing international, influencing generation, influencing men. But now I'm going to make a decision because me and my wife got a communication gap. So I'm just going to ruin all of this and go do my thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm overwhelmed. Bro, shame on me. It's not about my life right now, bro. It's not about me. I fully accepted that. And I'm like, God, you chose this wretched soul, this Aklawaha ninja that don't know what he's doing, that's waking up every day shooting his best shot, but you have this calling and assignment on me. I don't even like it, but I know it's necessary, and I'm grateful.
Well, check this out. The beauty of it is, people, that Coach Crump had already told me prior that he got something very, very special planned just for my initiates. And we about 2 hours and 30 minutes in this conversation.
Yep.
So it's about time that we bless the people.
Yep.
So let's talk about
ready right now.
Let's talk about what we got for the initiates today. Yeah. Coach Crump, what we doing for the people, man?
Man, we basically created I have a free webinar masterclass on getting personal fulfillment for men and women. And for every person that is ready to take their life and be really fulfilled at what God is trying to do and what they want to do in their life, all the Hardly Initiated, we're doing something special. We're giving you the cheat code, the 10 lessons for men, the cheat code for men on giving them the game to take their life, their intimacy, their connection to the next level. And so all the Hardly Initiateds, we're going to give you a free game. And I'm excited because all the things that we've done, my wife has partnered with me and put her side of a perspective on it as well. And so, man, we got that for you guys, and we're looking forward to give you that game.
I am excited about that.
So I just dropped that link in the description, so you can check the description right now. Better yet, you can even check the chat. I pinned it to the top, and just keep in mind that this is absolutely free. So it's an intensive. And is it you and your wife?
Yeah. So the giveaway is just giving them some game, right?
Yeah.
Just give it 10 principles for men. Now,
excellent.
What you're registering for is a 2-day masterclass on personal fulfillment.
Ooh,
that's free.
Absolutely free. Masterclass, baby.
That's free as well. That I have put my 15 years of professional work, 20 years of social work, putting it all into this blueprint for success for everyone.
Wow.
And
I like
the
that.
ladies in it. Look, Teresa has said, is it for men and women? What's the situation? Can they both get in? Who is this for? Who need to be up here?
I was telling Crump because when Crump was telling us about it, I'm like, the thing about it is, and because we had Paul Boucher on here, which what he was educating as well, it kind of reminded me of this because you focusing on the men, but the women really need to understand it as well.
Yeah.
So it is a men's guide, but a women's reference.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. And that's the freebie. But the what you're registering for the webinar, that's for personal development. You know, so my profession, I am a fulfillment coach. So I help people develop their internal personal capacity and value-based systems to operate in the best place possible in every aspect of life.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a masterclass to give you some free game on that.
Yeah.
But for the Hardly Initiates, for registering for that for free, I'm giving them an extra strictly for Hardly Initiateds, the cheat code for men, for him, the game plan, right? Which is just, 10 principles on relationships.
Oh, excellent. I like that.
And that breaks down principles, that breaks down bullet points. Like And we're giving book resources on there as well. 5 book resources.
So pretty
Amazing.
much you get the guide, the book resources, and you get the free 2-day masterclass.
Yes.
All right,
let me tell y'all,
it's going crazy.
Listen,
I ain't know.
resources is coming in, y'all. Resources.
Yeah,
and
I
when
like
is
that.
and by the way, when is that masterclass? By the way,
The masterclass is the 22nd and 23rd. It's in 3 weeks.
okay,
Oh, good,
22nd to
good.
23rd of January. So go ahead.
You got plenty of time.
Yes.
You need to register now because we're gonna get you that the guide as well.
Only for the initiates.
But
Only
the
for the
thing
initiates.
is, it's plenty of time for people to get mentally prepared.
Yeah.
For what's for that.
And me and my wife are going to take care of you. We're business partners. And so you'll be hearing from us.
I got people in the chat talking about signed up, registered. I love it.
Yeah.
I love to see it. Absolutely. Y'all, let me tell y'all, if we bring anybody up here, they thorough, they're vetted. In fact, I mean, Coach Crump, he's actually our coach ourselves. So I mean, first of all, we reflections of this brother up here. So, if anything goes wrong with us, you're responsible. All right. Hey,
listen,
it's not your fault, but you're responsible.
I'm going to get on y'all. Because listen, and hardly initiates know this, man. Some people don't respect and honor y'all sacred deaths when they come up here. And that's very important. Like, you know what I mean? So we talked about that, but yeah, man, this is, it's bigger than you now. You know what I mean?
And I accept, man, I fully accept the responsibility. And I mean, we was put here for a reason. So,
come on.
we're going to embrace that and we're going to take it. In fact, listen, y'all, before we actually get up out of here, it's been a brother in here patiently waiting anonymously.
Let him on.
So I got to take this brother. I don't even know if he's still on here, but I'm going to see anonymous caller. You on here with me?
What up, guys? What up?
Hey, what's up, man? Thank you
much
for
love to you, brother. Look, we gonna listen. We about to end this conversation with you here today, brother. I had to get you. Thank you so much for being patient. Okay.
Listen, I really appreciate you guys. I've been rocking with you guys ever since it's summertime, so I really appreciate you guys.
Much love, brother. Much love. And I know you staying anonymous, but can we at least get your location and your question?
New York
City. I'm from Brooklyn, baby. I love it.
Up. Shout out to NY.
Okay. So check it out. What's going on with you, brother?
Well, my thing is that I was listening earlier when I believe it was the guy.
And hold on, wait. Quick question, brother. Can you mute the TV in the back so we can hear you very clearly?
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Absolutely. Yeah, y'all in that BK all day. Absolutely. Y'all ain't know I was from Brooklyn. What's good? What's good?
Now the accent's coming out hard and heavy. Keep the anchor voice. Keep the anchor voice.
What is good? What is good? That's the anchor voice, guys. That is the
man. What are you looking for the remote? There you go. Okay.
Let's go. There we go. He got it.
There you go, brother. What's up? Well, yeah, we got you, brother. Go ahead into it.
Earlier when he was saying about as far as like how like his wife posture is and all this stuff there, and that makes a huge difference. I'm going through the same thing with my wife now. It's like she'll say something to me and it'd be the rolling of the neck and the turning of the eyes, and it'd be a total turn off. And then her first response would be like, "Oh, well, you got an attitude and all this stuff, or you're in your feelings." It ain't about the feelings. It's just all of this neck roll and stuff. Like, what is all of this for? So my whole thing is just like, okay, when you have a situation like that, like, what's the best way to approach that? Like, is that like to like address it to her automatically, or just try to ignore it? Because me personally, right now, I just try to ignore it.
No, the ignore is only going to, it's never going to solve it. You got to face it to fix it. You got to be very comfortable facing conflict and controversy in your home, and you got to address it. So first and foremost, you know what I mean? You start with confusion, you end with chaos. You start with clarity, you end with purpose. You got to be crystal clear on who you are and why you even are expressing yourself. You are acknowledging. I find it disrespectful with your body language, the way you roll your neck, the way you roll your eyes, your tone that you talk to me. It turns me off. I don't feel respected. So I'm not going to engage because I love you, and I'm not going to go back and forth. And then you continue to love on her as you are holding your own standards on how you love your domestic duties around the house, your responsibilities in your marriage, your responsibilities with your children. Like, you still carry those out in the spirit of a man of God that's the head of his household. So you don't do it and it'd be like, you see what I'm doing? You see, I wouldn't do you like that. You never go back and forth, but you always express, right, your honest feelings of disrespect, but you don't defend them. You don't go back and forth, but you never ignore it, brother. If she has created a space where it's attacking, and if she's not receiving, you have to remove what we call remove the stimulus. So let's say you express it and it just gets more combative. Remove yourself from the space immediately.
That's kind of like what I was thinking about, but I'm the kind of type like I don't want to give up too easily.
No, 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 no. Listen to me, brother. This is skill. It's not giving up at all. You're still going to address the disrespect. I want you to hear me clearly.
Hmm.
When you address it in her response, her emotional state, she's not at a mature space where she gets more combative of your truth. Now the tension in the space at the time got higher because you express your true feelings. You
Right,
have to remove the stimulus, right? Because now anger has kicked in, right? So you
right.
have to remove yourself so that it doesn't escalate. But when everything's calmed down, when you come back around, you're still going to address it, but you're going to wait for a better time for her to receive it.
Mm.
But just because you leave, you don't build resentment in your heart and not continue to follow and operate and handle your domestic duties as a husband, as a father, and as a man of God. And you do it with the energy that you hold yourself to, the temperament you hold yourself to. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Now you don't tell her you do this because when we're behaving, things are not taught, they're caught. You don't say, you just run the play. You just behave in a way that she will learn to acquiesce over time. Now you got to be prepared for the testiness because when you establishing a boundary and a consistency of how you show up, it's going to get tested first to see if it's official like a referee's whistle. But you
Hmm.
just have to make sure you don't argue. You express without condemning judgment. If it escalates, you remove the stimulus and you keep being consistent in how you show up and how you grow up.
Gotcha.
John, I may have missed this. Are you guys married?
Yes, we are been married. It'll be 17 years next month.
Wow.
Incredible.
John, I want to say something to you, man. It's a very powerful quote, but I want you to live by it.
Hmm.
What you allow will continue.
Mm.
You said something powerful that has prolonged this. You said, I keep ignoring it. The reason why it still exists is because what you allow will continue. You have to face it to fix it.
Man, it's crazy. We had a show last just this past Monday, and Pastor James had a similar quote: "What you tolerate will dominate."
Mm.
And first of all, Coach, that was phenomenal advice. And John, I mean, I could tell. First of all, when a brother coming up here and you being vulnerable and letting us go know what the situation is,
Mm.
I get a good feel of where you at right now. But did that at least answer the question so you could take some initial action, or do you have any follow up questions?
I mean, there's a whole lot of issues along with that thing. It's issues with other people being involved. It's a lot.
Okay,
It's a lot.
John. Okay,
Mhm.
John.
So infidelity and all those things have now came into the picture.
I think it's infidelity. I approached the issue with her, and she, the response I got wasn't what I was thinking the response should be.
Mm.
So that kind of like raised our eyebrow, like, okay, well, maybe there may be something more, but you just hiding it.
Oh,
But
so
but
that is that like when a woman, Coach Crump, you say something, they may not be doing nothing, but they'll say something to kind of keep your wheels turning.
but let's not even go down that rabbit hole, right? He
Mm,
says a lot going on. 17 years of marriage, right?
mm,
Right, John.
Yeah. Hmm.
John, the main thing is you knowing who you are and showing up the way you're supposed to show up on a consistent basis. Like
mm.
you do the work on you and then show up the way you supposed to be showing up on a consistent basis. You know what I'm saying? Like that is the most important thing. You said some things that when you said I just ignore it. When sometimes the interpretation from your wife could be not that you're ignoring it, but you're ignoring her.
Well, I do that because I know if the one thing I don't want to do, I don't want to bring myself down to that level.
No. And John, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about you just being who you need to be. It's not coming down to a level. That's your wife, right? And that's your responsibility. Her behavior is not your fault, but she's your response. You are responsible to address any conflict, any concerns, any challenges. You are responsible to address it and deal with it. You know what I mean? But if you're not in a space, if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't feel equipped, go do the work that you need to do. Really understand how you need to operate. Show up that way consistently. And then that will give you the confidence to address the things in a way that you know is true to the principles that you believe.
Right.
John, man, listen, thank you so much for coming up in here and chopping it up with us. John, again, I don't know if you heard me tell the other brothers, but info@hardlyinitiated.com is my email. Please keep us up to date and abreast with this situation so we can stay tapped in. And of course, you know, we here every Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday night. So you can always join back in on the call, okay?
Gotcha. I listen to y'all at home, at work, all the time. But I really appreciate you guys.
Hey, we appreciate you, man. Listen, that made my day, man.
No,
Because when
absolutely.
the fellas come through and give us that that confirmation, it just is lit.
And it is, man. And look, much love to you, John. Enjoy your day, okay?
You too, man. Thank you, man.
All right, brother.
I'm happy we was able to end this, man, on a coaching session with a brother.
Yeah.
Because we talked to a brother who's all the way on the front end of considering marriage, and then another brother who's 17 years in.
Yeah.
And that's deep. And I like what you said. Because like he says, a lot of stuff going on. You said, look, we not even going. It is a lot of stuff going on. You need to focus on what you
can control.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us can look, because I think a lot of us can look at all these other things going on, and you can't you can't control how she responds, what she's doing when you're not around, you know, how she perceives you. You just gotta focus on what you can control, which is your thoughts, your behaviors, and so forth. So I thought that was really great game, wise game.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Wise counsel from a wise brother here. And I'm very excited, man. I'm very excited for you guys to get this. You guys got to make sure you register for this blessing that Coach Crump has put here together for us.
Yeah, man.
Not only is it going to be a 2-day intensive, absolutely free for the Hardly Initiated family, but for everybody that signs up here today with us and that's listening to my voice right now, you are also going to get a free guide that he put together for you as well, exclusively putting in some more tactics. And I mean, you see how detailed and thorough he is with how he delivers information. He's going to go about being even, I mean, you're talking about 2 days with the brother. Come on now.
Yeah.
Please make sure y'all go ahead and take advantage of this blessing. We're going to give y'all resources. We're going to give y'all information. We're bringing y'all experiences. We're going to give y'all the whole gambit. And it starts right here on the, what is this? The third day of the year with Coach Crump. So take advantage of this here. And first of all, thank you, Coach Crump, for coming up here and blessing the Hardly Initiated family.
Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate
Absolutely.
It.
Big facts.
Always a blessing to have
Always
you.
an honor to be on this platform.
And I want,
thank you.
No, absolutely. You listen, and this is not going to be your last time here. And I want to let y'all know too, you know, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in and for, I mean, every like, every subscribe that you guys have given us. We were looking at the last year review. I mean, just seeing how much viewership and talk time we had. And a lot of people think that only the toxic content wins, but we actually showing that you can put some healthy content in the space. You can teach people how to build their families, how to bring men and women together. And people want to listen to that. They thirsty to grow and to build their families and to break these curses, which is what we're doing. So please continue to subscribe, join the become an initiate, join the membership, because all of these things help us grow and spread the word and message.
They really doing everything, man. They supporting us. We did a couple of shows on some other pods, which we typically don't do. The initiates supporting us on that. We see the initiates in person. I mean, always walking up to us, giving us feedback, letting us know what we need to do with the show, letting us know what's going on.
It's y'all time. It's y'all season.
It's crazy. The donations continues to come in through Cash App and PayPal, the super chats, the members. When they call in, and guys, I don't know if y'all understand how much that means to me and Tyshawn when y'all just tell us that the show is providing value.
Yes,
that's it. You tell us that it's helping you out. That really powers us up and gives us the energy to keep moving. So the initiative is really going crazy, and it's really just mind blowing. It's like surreal that we got people who really ride with us.
Nah,
like,
it is.
It's nuts.
It is, and we don't understand. We don't take this for granted, guys. Our whole lives have been given to this. Everything we get. My lady, I tell me all these vacations she want to go. I'm like, no, I got a show. Like, this is what it is. Like, we fully dedicated.
Come on, man.
To what's going on here. Every dollar y'all give us is going back into this platform. Like, we're not playing any games. So thank you so much for everything you guys do. To get you guys even more excited, guys, this Sunday, every Sunday at 5 p.m., Sunday, Mondays, and Wednesdays, this Sunday, y'all have been asking for this brother for so long. So we are going to get one of the most popular divorce attorneys on the internet right now. We got lead attorney coming to Hardly Initiated this Sunday at 5 p.m. So y'all do not want to miss this upcoming episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're gonna be breaking down the cool thing about that episode. We're gonna be breaking down actual case studies.
Yes.
So we gonna get lead attorney to chime in to some of these real big issues that are coming up, everything from harassment to divorce, like the legal aspect and dynamics that's behind a lot of these things going on. And he's a very opinionated brother. So we gonna be real, we gonna show him how we rock, because we gonna have y'all come up and give y'all take on a lot of the things that he's putting down. And I think it's gonna be a crazy conversation.
Kayan is like lead attorney. Oh my God. Yes.
Because his squad, they go hard too. So I think that's gonna be a fun show.
We're gonna have a good time, y'all. We're gonna have a good time. Y'all absolutely do not want to miss that. And listen, guys, thank you again to Coach Crump. Thank you, you guys. Y'all already know the link is in the description, so please take advantage of it. And listen, nothing else to be said. Hardly Initiated. We are out.